What do you do with this whole music video thing, man?
Bruv, my life is a music video.
Aye.
If my woman replies to a man on Instagram, if she likes another man's photo, she's out the fucking door.
I believe that women are beautiful creatures. I just don't think that they're as emotionally calm as men in stressful situations. I don't think they can fight like a man can. And for the same reason, I would never drop my children in an all-male nursery. I think that's strange and weird. I would only drop them in an all-female nursery. They need us, and they use us. But the second we have an opinion, the second I decide to voice and talk about the things that we talk about, explain our points of view, they want to cancel us. They don't want us to speak. They just want us to defend them, build the railroads, build the roads, be the workhorses, be the slaves, and they think we're not allowed our point of view. Well, they made a fucking mistake.
This file is completely empty. Of course it's unjust. There's no justice in Romania, unfortunately.
Did you hurt any girl?
Of course not.
Men still want to see me locked up, but ain't nothing ever stopped us. Suicide, Kurt Cobain, McLaren 720, but it sound like a plane. When I'm on the road, stay in your lane. Beat getting killed like a shot to the brain. Suicide, suicide.
My plan is to lie and cheat my way through this competition.
21-year-old Anglo-American Andrew Tate is a straight-talking entrepreneur with his own advertising company in Luton.
I'm very mentally strong. If I want to achieve something, I will achieve it, because I've never been in a situation in my life so far in my 21 years where I really wanted something and didn't get it. I'm not sure what my fellow travelers will be like. The worst kind of people would either be two-faced people, which is undoubtedly going to happen at some point during this trip. People who seek attention, and anyone who thinks they're exceptionally smart or exceptionally physically capable and they have nothing to back it up, it's going to quickly get on my nerves.
So really, I'm just trying to manipulate her, put her on the side, make her a usable weapon at some point. But I am playing the game. I'm not interested in the money at the end. I'm not interested in the 50% extra budget. I'm interested in winning. And the only reason I'm interested in winning is because I don't think I'll be able to. I'm going to have to manipulate a lot of people to win. But that's what I want to do. I want to win just so I can go home and say, yeah, I won. I manipulated them all. They somehow thought I was the best traveler.
I can't help but look on it as moronic. I can't look at him and feel sorry for him. I look down on him like he's an idiot, and I wish I didn't, because I've lost all respect for the guy. Honestly, he's had life way too easy for far too long. And one day or another he needs to grow up, and I think today is probably a good day to do it.
Hello. While Andrew pulls Nathan aside to tell him why he thinks the coming week's boy-girl split will work in their favour.
I think the three girls together are going to completely screw up. They don't get along without us. So those three together in a stressful environment, they're going to end up hating each other by the end of it. And if we make sure we vote internally, hopefully we can get one of the votes off one of them and get some money. Trust me, then we can play it.
I know what you're saying. Then we can play it. That is a sensible thought. Because we have got to start playing the game now, there's no doubt. This is when it seems like a game now.
Let's get them against each other and then we'll start using them as weapons.
That'll do it, yeah. That's the deal, yeah. Let's go unpack our bags and just see what happens.
Hello, everyone, and how are you doing? A lot of people don't realize, but that was actually Andrew Tate's start pretty much on television. He was in his early 20s, and he was actually on a UK travel show. As you see, his thoughts and opinions on women were not that great back then either. I wanted to show everyone that because I don't think people realize where Andrew Tate got his start. And that was literally the first time that he was on television. I'm going to say hello to all of you. Hello, Joe. Good to see you. Don't get in trouble for being on your phone at work. We have mods here. We're good. Hello, Six Drops. Thank you so much for being here. Hello, Auntie. I'm glad that you're here too, obviously. Shaw. Hello. I'm glad that you can pop in at work. I hope you're having a great day at work. Hello, Iconic. By the way, this picture, every time I see it, it cracks me up. I can't see your like icon here, Iconic, without laughing. It's very, very funny to me. Correct. They cannot fight like a man. They fight even better. That's right. Don't piss a woman off. Good morning. What race is your hubby? I'm new to all this, and everyone is saying he's ethnic, but he looks like a ginger. See, my whole thing is that race does not matter in anything. Race does not matter. If you are calling someone out, it doesn't matter what race they are. I mean, you shouldn't be calling them out for their race. But if you do want to know, my husband's mom and her side of the family are Native American. And then my husband's dad is white, from what I understand. And so he is like a quarter to half. I don't know how that shit works. Native American. And then, yes, he does look like a ginger. For those that do not know, there was actually several ginger Native Americans here in Canada. If you knew about your history and you actually researched Canadian Native American history, you would actually know all about these things. This is something that we get all the time, though, because people are like, is your husband ethnic? Blah, blah, blah. My husband does not really consider himself to be a person of color because, as I stated, we don't really think about race. Like, my husband's race doesn't matter in any of this, in any of the drama. It should not matter. The only time that my husband's race seems to matter is when I am dealing with people that would look up to Andrew Tate here. And they are very angry with me, a very white Italian woman, for being with somebody who could possibly be mixed race. Then you add my name into the equation. Apparently that stood for a fetish, unbeknownst to me when I came on here. And so people try to then guess, make false accusations and whatnot. I've already talked about all this a lot. Yes, he is the human race. Take a swig every time an unknown account writes Matrix. That's so funny. I'm super new, but some guy named Wes was saying he was ethnic. Weird. I know. Wes really, really wants my attention. Wes and I were actually kind of friends, if you want to know, at the beginning of us being out here. But Wes does not like me anymore because I did not want to date RSN or didn't want to hang out with Suit or don't like TCAP. I spoke out against Hanson. Bad, bad girl. We talk about scams here. We talk about cults. We talk about pseudoscience. We talk about other creators. We talk about a little bit of everything over here. I'm not really sure what happened with Wes. I hadn't talked to him in about 2 years. I thought that he forgot I existed, which I was happy about. And then all of a sudden, because I have somebody named the Professor who is from TCAP and is really obsessed with me, that meant that Wes had to cover me, I guess. This person, along with a few friends of his, has been going around since early 2019 when I started to speak out against Hanson with weirdos like Niece Lone Wolf and a whole bunch of like psychos, literally, very, very angry, going around creating subreddits on me and starting drama. I don't really care. It's not really my problem. they brought up some journal I forgot I had for like a decade. And I don't think anyone cares what a 36-year-old married woman is doing with her time on the internet, other than when I come on here to talk about stuff like this. So I prefer not to really talk about people that want my attention, if you will. You knew he was on Big Brother. Yes, see, he was on Big Brother. And we're going to get into that because I think a lot of the stuff about him like comes out on Big Brother. I feel like as you go through Andrew Tate's entire life, you can just see the dude's a piece of crap. I'll call it what it is. He is a piece of crap. He has some awful like thoughts and opinions about women, about people of other races even. He's racist. He's just a big piece of crap. And a lot of the young men have actually been looking up to him. And because of that, I think we need to talk about this, because it appears that Andrew Tate himself has, guess what they have, Dwayne? Guess what they have? Guess you're going to be so happy, Dwayne. Dwayne is an account that opened up 25,000 accounts to talk to me. He says that I am not allowed to block him. He has freedom of speech. He is allowed to talk to me no matter what. I am a public figure. I'm famous, apparently. I found out yesterday I'm famous, and therefore I do not have the right to tell people that I do not want to talk to them or have contact with them. So if I block someone, they are allowed to return it in a false account and continuously harass me and make contact with me. Oh, sorry, I forgot that wasn't harassment. So Andrew Tate here actually runs a cult. Oh my God. Cults are just things like Scientology and like NXIVM. You mean cults can be just communities run by one person that everyone takes the word of like he's a god? Oh my God, who knew? Me. That's what I've been trying to promote out here this whole time, is that to be a cult, you do not need to have a religious belief. You do not need to, have even a devout following. You could be someone like Andrew Tate with a very strong viewpoint and somehow a lot of influence. And then you have all of these people just follow you. Andrew Tate is seen as almost a god among young men who I like to define as incels. Probably the gun cells too. Those are the ones that follow like Ethan Ralph. They go around following Ethan Ralph, and they go around following Medicare to talk smack on him. By the way, Shaw, go get him, Shaw. And they do all that. So we call them gunt cells because, Ethan Ralph is the gunt. They also follow people like Foodie Beauty, who they call a gunt. All these people have a gunt. They follow Shanny, gunt. So the young men that follow Andrew Tate and these gunt cells and whatnot, they all have the same belief. I think they all follow Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is a piece of crap. But you'll be very happy to know that this actually does have to do with cults, Dwayne, who made an account. That's one letter off from my ex's name to freak me out. Thanks. I like content creators that respond. Fun interactions. Yes. I'm a ginger and my grandma was from Korea. Wow, that's awesome. That's actually really awesome. I like that. See, and that's what I mean. The funny thing is, I actually read about the ginger gene is actually like a very dominant gene. Like my friend, Paul, him and his girl Jess, we all went to high school together. They got married and they had 3 beautiful boys. Both of them have like blonde, brownish hair. Well, Paul's grandfather was a redhead. So all 3 of his boys ended up being redheads, like complete gingers. And everyone would be like, how did you have 3 redheads? Like, what's going on here, And he would have to continuously explain, that the gene comes from my grandpa. So it's interesting. Apparently, it's a very dominant gene. Hello, Aaron. Good to see you. We do what we like here. We do. I don't run a cult. You can come, you can go, you can watch who you want. I don't care. Go watch anyone. Just don't come bring me the shit. Unless one is not born on Earth, they will possess some sort of ethnicity. That's true. My happy ass is half Filipino. Yeah, that's fun. All that matters is he's a great guy. He is a great guy, isn't he? I didn't know. Neither did I. I did not know. I did not know. And apparently Wes knew, and he found out that that's not what I was, and someone's a little bit upset. Just leave him alone. He'll get over it. He's also freaking out because YouTube Schizophrenic came back. So he's having a full-on meltdown. He came on my stream, and then he's been like freaking out, melting down ever since. We got the spade and the shade going off. He's all horrified that me and like YouTube Schizophrenic are going to hook up and then go take him down or something. And honestly, neither one of us care enough about the dude. I'll just tell you that right now. It's a waste of our time. He should just go continue sucking up to Hanson, helping Hanson rip off creators like he has been for the last couple of years, helping Gene Anonymous dox everyone out here, including John Swan, you asshole, and then saying that I'm lying about all that behavior. It would do better for all of them. You know, they should just do that. Iconic, the ginger gene is trippy. It can come from anywhere. Exactly. It's so strange. It is so strange. I don't know how we got talking about this other than that one comment, but I'm having fun. Guess that rule doesn't extend to Twilfer. It's a recessive gene for red hair. Also, good morning. You are not entitled to anyone's time. Enough said. See, that's the thing, is that Dwayne doesn't understand that it's called harassment. He got very upset with me, and he was like, you cannot be harassed. You are on the internet as a public figure. If I literally come and talk crap to you about your family and tell about your husband and insult you every single day 5,000 times, you're not allowed to block me. And I'm like, I don't think you know how the internet works. They have the block button for a reason. And then I got a whole First Amendment right, free speech, my freedoms, you know, that one. It happens all the time. I'm used to it. Cult of personality, exactly. There are a lot of cults of personalities out here. For real. It's a big thing. The TCAT people are pretty bad. I was a viewer, then I saw what they did to that crazy Jessie girl. Jessie came like way after. I've been dealing with those people since November of 2019. Send help. They won't go away. They're new Onision. Please send help because I never did anything wrong. Like Onision, I just spoke out about Hanson and then didn't date Real Stream News because I'm married. I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry. It's recessive and can skip generations. Dobermans have the same gene. Black dogs who carry it and produce brown-red pups, while others are dominant black. We always have Auntie here to tell us about the animal genes. I find it interesting, though. Have the tiny dinger Auntie. Oh, that's funny. You can ask me all the questions that you want. See, here's the thing is that I have no problem answering questions or having a conversation. What I have a problem with is when people try to weaponize my personal information about me that they have found on the internet webs and things about my high school, because like I'm fucking 36. I've been married for a decade this year. Woohoo! We're celebrating 10 years this year, baby. And also, I have a child that is going on 9. So, like, I don't think about high school anymore. No offense to anyone watching me if there is from high school, but I don't remember half of the people I fucking went to high school with. Like time has gone on, you know? Like, I went to college twice after that. Like, I'm friends with the people I went to college with now. I have a few friends still from high school and public school and whatnot. So, you know, it's just like, I don't care about that time in my life. I don't know why we're not focusing on real topics. Yes, Onision is a groomer, and unfortunately for all of us, Suit and Real Stream News decided that Onision was innocent, and therefore I don't know if Wes now says he's innocent. I don't know what's going on. I had to walk away. Because it was getting way too crazy. I was being doxxed. I was being attacked by Vince and Gene. No one gave a fuck about me. I got a fucking copyright strike from Onision when I had less than 200 subs. No one cared. I was like, I just got struck by Onision. Everyone's like, we don't care. And I was out here for like fucking 2 months. Did nothing wrong to anyone. Nothing wrong to anyone out here. Right? But then because I was around certain people, like Real Stream News, for example, after I spoke out about Hanson, he was the only one that would listen. So then I ended up there. And then that made me a dangerous person. Just automatically, apparently. And then it was just, I got fair gamed. I got fair gamed by Repsion. I got fair gamed by the Goon Squad and Tommy C. I got fair gamed by Wes and TCAP and Hanson. And then they went and attacked a bunch of the anti-MLM people to get me fair gamed by those people and attacked by them. And every time I tried to speak out, people just keep attacking me. I am probably the smallest creator, along with YouTube Schizophrenic, that spoke out about Hanson back in 2019 before anyone else did. I was talking about Hanson's scams, and I was being told by people like Repsion to shut the fuck up. So that's what happened. And I literally left when Ember did. Yeah. There was a lot of really, really bad stuff happening. I don't know about the kelp pill stuff. All I know is that was another person that used to harass me. And basically Wes Most and all of these people just sit around all day harassing me and getting like 500 fake accounts. Tommy C. SFTP. Yes, Nicholas DeOrio's friend. Although Nicholas DeOrio said he would not attack me. He said I am too crazy for him. I was like, thank you. And I had a bunch of people come from Tommy C's community, along with Lexi, Zell, and they were all like, we're going to get Tommy C to cancel you and dox you and blah, 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 blah. And then when I tried to approach Tommy C about it, literally like everyone was just like, fuck Queen. Nobody cared about me. I was the girl that was around Real Stream News all of a sudden, and then nobody cared about me. I could just be doxxed. I could be swatted. I've had cops and CAS at my house over 23 times since then. I actually had them called on me more than Onision had them called on him during that time. And that is why I don't give a fuck about these Andrew Tate people, because I've already been through it. The one thing that these people did do for me is they made me untouchable now. The police will not come here. CAS knows my child is taken care of. You cannot swat me. You already tried to have my house raided 4 different times. It did not work. The cops got smart. I released the voicemails from one of these fuckholes. Queen has released pages of DMs. There's hard drives full of this shit and gigabytes on internet archives. There actually are. They've released like all of my conversations. If you have a private conversation with me, you can like go and get clout just by releasing it. So I have people constantly coming over here pretending to be my friend and trying to get information from me so that they can like run back to have it posted. They also have a chart of apparent people that I have a problem with made on behalf of Real Stream News so that he can claim that all my drama has to do with him so that people can just keep defaming me. I'm fair gamed, right? So anything I say or do mustn't be true, even though I was saying all the same thing that those people were saying the whole time. I'm just saying, remember that. So I'm already fair gamed. I don't give a fuck. I got fair gamed by like 10 different communities. They're already all after me. So what is Andrew Tate and his group of incels going to do when I'm already dealing with a bunch of the gunt cells and a bunch of the incels on here? And yes, I include Westmost in that. So who the hell is Andrew Tate? Because no one cares about me. Okay, I don't matter. I never came on this platform to talk about me. I was never like, I'm going to go on this platform and tell my life story and use it to get clout. That was never a thing. I was never, oh yes, and the Cyrax community with those gun cells. That's where Toxic is from. Toxic Angel. Yes, it's on this channel, I believe. Yeah. We did the Atomic Droog on here with Quasar and Anti. So that was fun. I like that. We need to do more group projects. Group projects are fun. We gotta finish some songs over there and finish some writing. Maybe we'll work on that over the next couple days here. We gotta do that. That's some fun shit. So who the hell is Andrew Tate? Because we're not here to talk about me. No one cares about my life. Trust me, I have full-on biographies done wrong, but at least they're out there, I guess, on me out on the internet. Emery Andrew Tate III was his name. That is his full name, and he was born on December 1st of 1986, which makes him 36 years old. Unfortunately, we are the same age. He is from Britain, and he is a former professional kickboxer, which not a lot of people know either. Tate began practicing kickboxing in 2005, and he got his first championship in 2009. But he went on the British reality show Big Brother in 2016. And this is when he got all of his attention. If you don't know what happened in 2016, also on this platform, 2016 on YouTube, right? What? Yeah, the rapper. Yep, that's one of my gun cells. He's my favorite one, though. He has blue hair and face tats. Okay? It's funny. But I do actually also have like an 8-hour stream where he comes on and Mr. Deadman comes on and tries to concern troll me. And then he got all mad that I wouldn't hang out with him and went and did a big boo-hoo cry fest for 3 hours. So he wrote me the most neckbeard incel post I have ever gotten in my life, which says a lot because I just told you guys I have spent since 2019 being stalked by incels. So imagine the messages I've gotten. So literally, yes, we write a lot of stories and songs about cows. We do the lol cow thing over here. I will say it. I have already been called out for being on Kiwi Farms. I don't really care. I use it sometimes, just like all the creators on here. If you are a creator that is talking about other creators, guess what site they're using? Kiwi Farms, lol cow. They're using all those sites. I'm the only one that gets canceled for it. I swear to God, because I'm the only one that goes on and I'm like, yeah, that's me. What's good? So back when he did Big Brother, a lot of people don't realize that he was actually removed, like completely kicked off the show. And that was because of his comments on social media. You would think at that time that this man here, Mr. Tate, would be like, oh, I should maybe watch my social media posting. But he's like Trump, and he's like, no, I'm just going to keep going until I get kicked off of everything. So because of this whole Big Brother controversy, he decided to start offering paid courses and memberships through his website. And what was he selling? He was selling the ultra masculine, ultra luxurious lifestyle for all men, how they can meet women and be rich and get everyone to want to be up. You know, he was one of those dudes. And he started to basically like go all over TikTok and give these very lovely TikToks, if you will. So basically he got kicked right off of the show. I believe I have a video of that somewhere. Give me a second. Because I think it's interesting to find out a lot of people turn into assholes after they get fame. And Andrew Tate here seemed to just be an asshole always. Like, this guy was always scum. You could go all the way back, right, to the very beginning of him being on television. And it's like, oh, no, yeah, here he is, still scum. This is what he had to say.
You're on Big Brother, and you got pulled out. Yeah, kicked off.
So, yeah, this is what he had to say. And you can see he's very young here. He was younger back then. And, I mean, no offense, but I look at this guy and I'm like, really? This is your Chad? This dude? This is Chad? Really? This is, okay. Maybe I just have bad taste. I mean, my husband is a ginger. So maybe that's just me. But he doesn't seem like the type of guy that I personally would have called a Chad. I mean, he doesn't even have a jawline. Where's Zach? I need Zach to weigh in on this jawline. He doesn't have one. So this is what he has to say about him being booted from Big Brother in the UK, in Britain, back in 2016. He was on season 17, I believe. Let me just double check. I just want to make sure I didn't get that wrong. Yes. Yes, 17th series. Yeah, season 17. And he's more of a Kevin than a Chad. He wants to be with a ginger. Gross. Says the other ginger. I just letting you all know, in case you don't remember. It takes a lot to kick off a cast member on a reality show. Right? I mean, let's be real. Reality shows are kind of like do drama. Like, cause problems. So being controversial is actually great. I mean, when you think about it, this guy would have been perfect for reality shows. He is very controversial. He says what's on his mind. He doesn't hold back. He's a male me, although with misogyny and a cult. You know what I mean? So he could totally do it. It's just he can't stay off social media and post a bunch of crap. So, again, this is what he has to say about it. I think it tells us a lot about who he is as a person. Because I'm not just here to crack on him and make fun of him. I want to kind of figure out who he is as a person. And then we need to talk about his cult of personality.
Because of the sex video. Could you just talk?
That's not why I kicked off. Here's the real reason I kicked off.
Okay.
So that girl from the sex video, there's actually been, if you Google Andrew Tate's girlfriend, there's been articles since where she's gone to the papers and said that was all fake. So that's the first thing. So everyone goes, you're a woman beater. Well, the girl herself's come out and said it's fake. Then everyone goes, you paid her to say that. So you can't please these trolls. So I don't even bother refuting it anymore. I'm still good friends with her. I was with her yesterday. So, and this is like 2-3 years ago. So we're still good friends anyway. The real reason I got kicked out of Big Brother is because I was too good at triggering everyone. So what happened was I was only in there for about 9 days and 4 people walked out and every single man in there at some point had threatened me with violence. So they took me into the diary room and they said, we're really concerned about the dynamic of the house. This is all off camera.
Yeah.
I was like, well, the rules of Big Brother, we all signed a contract saying no one's allowed to make threats. I'm not threatening anybody. All these people are threatening me. You need to shut down their threats. I'm like, yeah, but people, you're very controlled and they're more emotional and we just want to guarantee that in the event of an altercation, you won't hit anybody. So basically they said, we've got a whole bunch of idiots in here who can't control themselves, children. And if they swing for you, we want you to play Floyd Mayweather and do nothing about it for 4.5 minutes while security turns up. And I said, no, I'm not going to start an argument, but if they're going to swing at me, they're going to get knocked the fuck out. I don't know if there's 2 of them going to attack me. I ain't getting punched on TV. I don't know what's going on. I don't know this guy. Maybe he knows something. Who the fuck? If you swing at me, I'm taking you out. So that's my position. Okay. I'm not going to start it, but as soon as they start running their mouth, you better send security in advance because I'm taking them out the game. And they must have sat around, all the producers sat around and thought, shit. Oh, shit. Over the next 3 months, this is going to happen. And he's going to hurt them bad because they're all weaklings with big mouths.
Do you not see the ego of this man? I'm surprised he could fit in this room. It is so big. He really does think that he is the best, most powerful, strongest man on earth. And that no one could ever stop him. Which, again, we'll get to how he got stopped.
And because literally everybody was getting triggered and threatening me, like not just one, all of them, they thought.
Were you enjoying that?
I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's not even enjoyment. I just don't care. Whatever.
Yeah.
I think he likes it. I do. I think he likes it. He seems pretty happy about it here. I mean, look at him. He's smiling.
You know, so they sat and thought, this is a liability. We've got to get this guy out of here. So they used the sex tape as an excuse.
Okay.
They use the sex tape as an excuse. Okay, so for those that don't know what happened, there was a sex tape that was released of him and an ex-girlfriend, I guess, apparently. Now, after it was released and there was a bunch of controversy around it, they claimed that it was like a fake tape. Now, that's not why he got kicked off the show. He got kicked off the show because he was like on social media and he was writing really disgusting things about women and just other things. You know, if you're familiar with him in any way, you could probably think of what he was writing. He was basically writing the same things he always does, right? Misogynistic tweets and then talking like this. You know, like just power leveling everyone all the time. And because of the controversy around his social media presence, that's why he was booted. Not because of this sex tape. But see, he can't even take the full accountability. He doesn't take it for the sex tape at all. It's fake now, right? And then he doesn't take it for his social media. And he won't even admit that it was the social media. He's just blaming it all on this sex tape scandal.
So it was all bullshit.
Yeah, because they really made out you'd beaten the woman.
Hello, man.
Well, it's bullshit because the girl came forward and said it wasn't true. And they had a dominatrix in the house. And at the same time, Laura and Marco had a belt and were hitting each other on the show. It's all bullshit. They didn't give a fuck about that. They just thought, this guy, man, this guy's too much for this show. He's too smart for these motherfuckers. We gotta get him out of here.
He is too smart for these people, so we got to get him out of here. Yes, Andrew Tate, that's why you got kicked off of the show. Because you were too smart. Too smart. Very good, sir. Very, very good. Now, you kind of saw a little clip at the beginning of this. I was having a little bit of sound issues, so I played the travel show clip. The very beginning. And you kind of saw how he worked on these shows. They split into male and female, right? And then his whole idea was that women suck. So they weren't going to win. And he was just going to cause drama between all of them, right? So this dude knows how to play the so-called reality show game. Reality shows love that shit, right? That's the type of people they want. So... you saw how he played the game. I'm sure he wasn't that much different on Big Brother. Why would he be? That would be a little bit silly, right? I mean, you know. So, in his 20s, he actually worked as a TV producer. Again, not a lot of people are aware of that because go and try to find something that he produced. I dare you. And that was while he was training as a kickboxer. As we know, he was ejected from the house over a video of him hitting a woman with a belt. A second video emerged shortly afterwards in which he is shown telling a woman to count the bruises he apparently caused her. Both Tate and the women denied any abuse occurred and said the clip showed consensual sex. So that's what he means when he says it was fake. He's played the game and won. And now what do you win, right? Ugh. So he basically has said, oh no, that's all fake. So that's what happened with the tape. Like I said, it was quite the tape. It was abusive. People were worried. After that, he started doing posts containing homophobic and racial slurs. And then in September 2017, he was criticized by mental health charities for saying that depression isn't real. So then he pissed everyone off. Everyone was kind of like, who the hell is this dude? What is he all about? Just as that was all going on, we unfortunately had something very, very awful happen with Harvey Weinstein. I'm sure I don't have to go into details about who Harvey Weinstein is. I'm just going to assume you all know. Now, Harvey Weinstein, of course, did what he did. The Me Too movement was strong. And Andrew Tate apparently had a lot to say about it. He basically just said that he thinks that women should bear some responsibility for their rape. And here it is. I found the article. So it said that in his idiotic Twitter rant, this is where I am starting from, as Tate suggested the women making allegations against Harvey Weinstein could not count themselves as victims if they exchanged sex for opportunity. Sexual harassment is disgusting and inexcusable. However, a man looking at you or whistling at you or asking your name isn't harassment, he wrote. This belief does discredit as a whole. Stick to the serious definitions and stop pretending normal male behavior is rape. I feel like men should also be upset about this. Because here's the thing, not all men view the world like this. In fact, most don't. And honestly, a man like this makes men look freaking bad. He does. A man like Andrew Tate is what the SJWs would use to do their hashtag kill all the men. You know what I mean? He is the exact definition of what a man should never be. What a real man is not. This is not a real man. This is a little boy. He went on because he can't shut his mouth. Secondly, Harvey, creep, obviously, but women have been exchanging sex for opportunity for a very long time. Some did this, weren't abused. Of course, now they will say they were abused. However, at the time, it was a simple exchange they partook in voluntarily. Not all, but some. Then he actually went on to say, if you put yourself in a position to be raped, you must bear some responsibility. I'm not saying it's okay you got raped. No woman should be abused regardless. However, with sexual assault, they want to put zero blame on the victim whatsoever. If you go out, meet a guy, take his drinks all night, go to his apartment drunk, start to kiss him, then he grabs your tits, not harassment. Then he says, if I left $1 million outside on my front door when it got stolen, people would say, why was it there? Irresponsible. I can say nobody should steal, it's wrong, and everyone will agree, but still, very little sympathy per my bad decision, pre-thievery. Because apparently, theft is the same as rape now, guys. That's exactly it, though, right? And that's what most men should be thinking. Whenever they go to treat a woman in a certain way, right? Should I be treating this woman like this? What if it was my daughter or mother? Similarly, women need to think, what if this was my dad or my son? See, I am not a feminist. I get canceled for it all the time. Because I sit here and I'm like, I don't like feminism that much anymore. I don't join in with feminism. But I am all about human rights. Rights for all humans. For men and women. So when I'm looking at something like this, I'm not just looking at how this affects women. I'm also looking at how this affects men. How having a man like this act out in this way can make men look, or can even influence other men to behave this way. And why that's bad. Not just for women, but for the men. right? And that's always kind of my point, is that I think if we all came together and we all fought for human rights instead of dividing by gender, we would do a lot better out here. Just like how I think we should fight about classism over racism. But again, that's just my personal belief. Don't start canceling me over that now. I just think that it's time a lot of people got together and fought together against certain behaviors out here. And I think that Andrew Tate's honestly a good example for when men and women should kind of come together and say, this dude, nah, no. Bye-bye, you know? So he compared women to money, but then he also kind of compared rape to thievery, which I don't like at all. He carried on, sexual assault is the same. Now remember, it's not only women that get sexually assaulted. So this is also my thing, is that I'm also one of those people where I'm like, listen, men can also be assaulted. So if you're a man out here, you're saying things like this, and you think that you're just hating on women, you're not. You're hating on men too. Because men also get assaulted, and then what? They should also blame themselves for it, right? No. That's not how it should be. Also, most men in the world do not believe in this. This one, like I said, is a special breed. Do not look at a man like this and go, all men suck. That's not how you should work. Just the men that follow Andrew Tate suck. I can guarantee that. So he goes on because, again, he cannot stop. Sexual assault is the same. Why were you there with this guy? Drunk. You don't even know. Why? Nobody should rape. Yes, I agree, but why? Here's my thing is, why does this man think that everybody's drunk when they get raped? He seems to think the only time that people get raped is when they're drunk and kissing at their house, and then it goes too far or something. It's a little bit much. And that's not what happened with Harvey Weinstein, by the way. It wasn't like just one woman that came out and said, like, oh, he took me home, and then like had what men could sometimes call a regret moment. You'll hear a lot of men that have these beliefs claim that women go after men for sexual assault because they have sex with them and then regret it afterwards. It's a big thing that these assholes often say. They'll be like, oh, she just regretted it. So, you know, that's not what it was with Harvey Weinstein. And that's what he's like talking about. That's what triggered this rant of his. So it's just like, dude, stop. He says, take some personal responsibility. This zero blame game is damaging to the female cause as a whole. Protect yourselves. Now, I will say, us women do need to protect ourselves. We do need to do things like have a buddy system when you go to the bar. Me and my girlfriends used to do that. You don't go anywhere by yourself. If you're going to the bathroom, you grab a girlfriend. We all love to meet in the bathroom when we're at the bars, don't we, girls? So that's never a problem. And, you know, just look out for each other. Don't let one of your girlfriends, like, be alone with a dude that she doesn't know. Like, just things like that. It is true. You know, maybe take some self-defense classes and whatnot. That's all true. But, sir, how do you know that the woman that did get art that we're talking about here, well, I don't know why I said art. I've been saying rape this whole fucking time. This is probably not going to be monetized now. Not like that it ever was. We're talking about this dude. But it's like, what if a girl, you know, that got raped already did all of that, and then it still happened? You know, then what? What if a man gets raped? I mean, according to Andrew Tate here, he probably believes that men can't be abused. They can, and that's something that we need to talk about more in our society, I believe. Like, for example, we don't really have abuse shelters for men, and that should be a thing. It is something we are seeing more often. So we do have to, like, talk about that more, and we do have to protect ourselves. But it's like, come on, dude. Like, he believes that men are stronger than women, so he probably doesn't believe that men could do it, but a man could technically protect themselves according to this man, and they still get assaulted. Sometimes it's not about like your physicality, right? A lot of people have a really hard time understanding like emotional manipulation and mental manipulation and how that could play an effect in situations like this. And I think that's one of the biggest problems here is lack of education on that. Then he somehow shifted the blame from women to immigrants, where he said, well, liberals scream that nobody should rape, which, by the way, it's not just liberals that scream this. I'm pretty sure that conservatives also, a lot of them are like, nobody should rape. Like, let's not just be like, it's the liberals that say that nobody should rape, because that's not a bad thing. I know he's bringing it up like that's a bad thing. It's like, should we all be screaming that nobody should rape? I think we are. He says women can walk around naked and men shouldn't look. You import waves of third world immigrants. But that's a different point entirely. My point is this. If my sister was raped, I'd be furious. However, I'd ask details and say, what the fuck are you drunk at a dude's house you don't know for? Lovely. Lovely big brother, right? In those types of situations, pretending women are blameless and men shouldn't rape is stupid. People shouldn't steal. Poor prep temps. Easiest way to protect your daughter. Teach her self-awareness and avoid poor decisions, or ensure every man on earth won't rape her. So, again, he has some very strange views on that. And because of that, he got a lot of attention, if you will. And he continues to do this. Andrew Tate has also appeared on InfoWars, of course, with Alex Jones, who we absolutely love to mock on this channel. The Gay Frog song is my favorite song. I listen to it every day. He was also pictured with far-right YouTuber Paul Joseph Watson and met Donald Trump Jr. at Trump Tower, posting on Facebook afterwards. The Tate family support Trump fully. MAGA. So he's a MAGA bro, of course, right? That is a huge issue. Being a MAGA bro is a huge issue. On Facebook in 2018, he actually bemoaned the decline of Western civilization after seeing a poster at Heathrow Airport encouraging girls to go on holiday as opposed to encouraging being a loving mother and a loyal wife, according to him. He has been accused of violence against several women, and he hasn't been charged, not yet. He's going through that right now, and we'll get into that later. He has had his house raided over these, and it's gotten pretty serious even in the past. This was pre-2018, by the way. So even before then, this guy was apparently a piece of crap that was violent towards women. He's always had these misogynistic views, right? I used to call into Alex's show and they'd ban me when I asked about Israel politics. That's awesome. You're going to have to send me clips or something. If she doesn't want it, it's harassment. This guy is doing this to get people's attention. He has Kanye syndrome. I love that. Is that a thing now? Do they actually call it that, or did you make that up? I just want to know, because Kanye syndrome should definitely be a thing. He'll be on... Oh my God! I really do want South Park to make a tape. They don't have one, because I looked for it, because you know me in South Park. I'm going to always look for it. So after all of this stuff kind of happened with Andrew Tate, what happened is he actually ended up having a whole petition made to get him kicked off of Facebook, TikTok, and all of the social media platforms. You're probably wondering, but why? Why would that happen? I mean, he can't be all that bad. Can he?
There's a large contingent of men out there who don't want to wear makeup, who don't want to be girls, who don't want to be told they're toxic because they want to go to the gym, who want to drive nice cars, who want to have money, who want to have hot chicks. And there's nothing wrong with us. We are not evil. We are not bad. We're not misogynistic. We're not out to hurt anybody. Let me tell you one more thing. When bad things happen, they call men like us. The feminists who hate us and call us toxic, the second they have trouble, they'll call a police officer. Do you think they want a feminist male to turn up or a man like me and you? They need us and they use us. But the second we have an opinion, the second I decide to voice and talk about the things that we talk about, explain our points of view, they want to cancel us. They don't want us to speak. They just want us to defend them, build the railroads, build the roads, be the workhorses, be the slaves, and they think we're not allowed our point of view. Well, they made a fucking mistake.
I mean, that's a little threatening. We made a fucking mistake, I guess. You know, and the one, why is he yelling? He's always yelling, right? He's very, very angry. He has a fading English accent. He does. I've noticed that too. If you are from England and you move to like America and you do stay long enough, you can lose your accent. I have had friends who have lost their accent. Apparently it can happen. It's kind of strange, but it does happen. So he made a comment there that I found kind of funny, where he said something about how all the police officers would not be feminists. I'm sure there are police officers that are feminists. I'm just saying. Also, Andrew Tate, sir, all police officers would say men should not rape. I'm just reminding you of that. They're the ones that charge you with that kind of thing. But I mean, that was just one rant, like I said, and some tweets. He doesn't seem that bad yet, right?
Fucking door. I inflict eyes to a man on Instagram. If she likes another man's photo, she's out the fucking door.
So Mr. Tate here is all like, if I'm with a woman, if she even likes another guy's friggin' photo, I'm booting her. So Mr. Ego, Mr. Misogynist, Mr. I'm so strong I can beat up anyone, I was a kick boss, sir, blah, blah, blah. All of that, right? Seems kind of delicate. Seems sort of like a pussy. Could we maybe call him a cuck? That he is so insecure with his relationship that his woman couldn't even like another dude's pic. I mean, I've been married 10 years. I have male friends. My husband has been like friends with some of my guy. Like I've had my guy friends over and then they also become friends with my husband. You know what I mean? Right? He's had some female friends that when we were first together, especially, we all used to hang out. There was no problems. So you have to be real insecure about yourself and your relationship, in my opinion, to have a view like that.
I expect absolute loyalty from my woman.
No, I think he meant inflict. Like he beats her with a belt if she doesn't give it to him.
That is not mate guarding. That's not beta. That is just basic territorialism that comes with being a fucking man. I ain't having my...
See, this is the thing, is that this is why I say he makes men look bad. Because a lot of men are not like this. And they would not flip out at their woman liking some dude's pic. Because they would know that, like, it could be a picture of just a guy with his dog. Maybe she likes the dog more. All right? I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Most guys also aren't sitting around paying attention to what their wives are constantly doing. Like 24/7. That's crazy. Right? Was he British originally? Because when he does Mr. Shouty Man, he's imitating Alex Jones pretty well, I must admit, right? I mean, that's all Alex Jones did too, was shout everything. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. See, I can do it pretty good too. It's just a female version. But yes, he is from Britain. And that's why he was on it was British Big Brother, the 17th season that he was removed from. So yeah, he is British, but like you said, it is fading a little bit. You go all the way back, he has quite a strong one, and now it's not as big. But like I said, that can happen. I think he got picked on too much as a kid and is overcompensating. I agree. And maybe someone stole a girlfriend from him because he beat her with belts.
Chicks talking to other dudes, liking other dudes. My chicks don't go to the club without me. They are at home.
And you know what's so attractive about younger women? A lot of these.
So he's like, my woman doesn't go out without me. She's at home. Like, you can't even, like, let her go to the store? I'm sorry, 6 drops. You're right. I should stop kink shaming the frogs. I am all good with the chemicals in the water. Just don't tell Cece about them. So he's a roided up male. Yes, pretty much. Yep, that's pretty much it. But worse, I would say. He's more dangerous. He has more influence. Once he got into politics, the accent no longer works. Oh, actually, that's a good point. That's interesting to think of, huh? I like Andrew. He has a lot of good points. Oh, no, don't. Don't do that. But yeah, I just think that that's really funny of him to say that, like, she can't ever go out without him. She's like, she can't go to the club without him. I mean, maybe the club, I understand. But not really. Like, most girls, we have, like, girls' night. We, like, take a bunch of girlfriends. We go to the club, like, a couple times a year. It's okay. You don't have to not like him. But I am going to tear him apart. As long as you don't mind me tearing him apart right now. But it's like, and also, please don't be a part of the gun cell. Andrew Tate following is all I ask. But that's someone who's insecure and doesn't trust. And honestly, if you can't trust your woman, should you be with her? Probably not. Especially if you can't even trust her, like, go to the store or like a guy's pick.
And you know what's so attractive about younger women? A lot of these dudes talk about fertility and looks and stuff. I don't actually think it's that. I think that in the modern world, in the days of old, right, you'd meet a woman, you get married, you'd be together, whatever. In the modern world, if I meet a girl who's 33 and single, I know the amount of dick that's been through her before me is just simply unattractive. I don't care.
Okay. Okay. Little weird. Little weird. Some of us didn't even make it into the double digits before we got married. But okay.
How nice you are.
Yeah.
But you're 33 years old. How many men have fucked? If I get a 19-year-old girl, I might be her second or third man, right? I'm going to be dude number fucking 29.
Yeah.
And
if you get a 19-year-old girl at the age of 36, I'm going to have some questions. We need to, like, get all of the young women away from Andrew Tate here. I mean, I would let my ex-husband go off an entire weekend with his friends. It was exactly. Right? And I'm sure he would do the same for you. If you wanted to go out with your girlfriends, I'm sure he was like, yeah, go on, no problem. Because that's what, like, a marriage would do. And from what I've heard about you and your ex-husband, you guys were, like, pretty cool with each other, right? It wasn't really a bad situation either. You seem to have had respect for each other, at least. And that's what I mean. That also has to do with respecting each other, right? And this guy just has no respect for anyone but himself. He doesn't care about anyone but himself. And now he's talking about how he wants a 19-year-old girl because she wouldn't have any D in her. Yeah, I would go down to MetroCon every year for an entire weekend, and that's in another city. Exactly. Yeah, and he wasn't, I'm sure that you guys were on social media checking what each other does constantly, you know. I mean, unless you were just doing it because you loved each other, but it wasn't like I have to check in and make sure, you know. That's crazy. no woman wants to be with a man that controlling either, by the way. That will make most women leave. I never had any issues when my wife wants to go out with the girls. Exactly. Because you know your wife isn't going out with the girls to go look for another man. Like, trust me. Let me tell you something right now. As someone that's been married for 10 years, okay, if we go out with the girls, the last thing we want to talk about is men. The last thing we want to do is be around men. That is a girls' night. We are all sick of our men. We're like, we need a night away. Like, if a guy comes up to talk to us, we are like, no, thank you. Like, married, go. I'm trying to have a damn cosmopolitan with my friend here. I'm just trying to have a chat, right? Like, most of us, especially when we're in a relationship, right, we really don't want men around us when we go out with the girls. That's the fucking time with the girls. It's important for a reason. It's not to pick up other dudes. I think that's a difference, though, is that a lot of time girls go out, let's be honest, even when we're younger, a lot of us don't really go out to pick up men. We go out to have a fun time, to dance, to drink. Men, however, seem to go out to pick up women. And it's like the goal. And especially for a man like this, right? So he doesn't understand just going out without trying to like hit on someone. To him, everybody needs to be hit on, and everyone's hitting on everyone all over. It's just a giant orgy in the world with this man. Malignant narcissism is self-respect amplified to a toxic level, right? And I would say that this guy's a narc. I mean, I can't diagnose him or anything, but look at him. I mean, we would check each other's Facebook and like pictures and stuff and comment and say how much fun it was to see the other person having fun. Yeah, but like I said, that was like out of love for each other and compassion. You know, that wasn't like, oh my God, what is he doing? Who is he with? Like, that kind of thing. And that's what he wants to do. That's what this guy does. He doesn't look at those pictures like, oh, look at my girlfriend out with her friends. No. He looks at the pictures and goes, who's that guy in the background that's not even looking at them? Probably doesn't even know who they are. You know, he's one of those, right? Which is why I like going to twink bars. Yeah. Honestly, gay bars are fucking amazing when you want a girls' night. That is the best place to go. I'll tell you that right now. It really is. Because you're not really going to get hit on. If you do, it's by a woman. And I'm going to be honest, they also tend to take the rejection better. It's less scary to tell a woman no thank you than it is to tell a man. Like, I'm sorry, but it just is. I had a long meeting. That's okay. You're good, Angel. I'm just glad that you came when you could. Anytime. I appreciate your time being here. I just appreciate you taking time to listen to what I have to say, like it's important or something. That's all.
All the trauma and heartbreak and bullshit they put you through, you're gonna try and bring to my door? Yeah. Like, well, my last man cheated. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Like, I don't care. Like, why is that my problem? So if you pick up older women, you have to accept they've been on the carousel longer. They've had more fucking rides, more spin. Yeah. I don't want that shit. If you're a female.
That's hilarious, because we can say the same about men, that they've hoed it up, you know. But man, it's so funny too, coming from someone that literally just said that his girl can't even go out without him or like someone's pictures. Otherwise, she's gone, right? It's a lot of mixed messages from this man about how to be in a relationship and what to think of women. And I think a lot of the young men following him are probably confused.
And you're sitting there and you have a man you genuinely like and you actually want to keep him happy. The way you think about it is, how can I increase the status of this man? How can I increase his status? How can I make him be perceived more positively in the eyes of his peers? How can I make other men look at him and be jealous of him? That's how you act. You put those pieces in line, you're gonna have a very, very happy man. It's really not complicated. So when we say things like we don't want you going to the club, blah, 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 we're not trying to tie you down or freeze you having fun. It's not even about that. It's about the fact that every single stupid bitch is in the club, but my bitch ain't in the club. And that gives me status. I think the best.
So if you're bitching in the club, that gives you status, apparently. I don't know what any of that meant. It seemed like a lot of baloney to me. Right? That's funny. It makes me wonder if Don Lemon is a Tate fan after his whole Nikki Haley's Pastor Pride. You know what? Probably. Because honestly, like, he would say that. He would too say that.
The best thing about life and the worst thing about life can be the female you're with. If you have a good woman by your side who's truly down and understands who you are and who you need to be as a man and supports you the best she can, sometimes she'll cry, sometimes she'll get upset, whatever. But if she truly does, that can make life a really beautiful thing.
And all four of us know that.
And all four of us know that. And having a woman who's the opposite, ask any dude who had a divorce. Like, it can be horrible. So as a man, managing females in your relationship with females is always going to have a huge impact on how enjoyable life is, whatever, anything. So that's a really interesting point.
It is a really interesting point coming from this man. You know what I mean? After all the things we just heard him say. I bet he has VD. Men like this think women are worn down the more rides they have had. But men never think about the fact that women may have the same thoughts about men who use and dispose of women like he does. Exactly. Right? This way of thinking would deter most women. So if you want to get a woman, don't follow this dude. He'll show you how to be an incel and not get any. Right? I think all of the steroids made his penis really, really tiny, and he's really insecure about it. Possibly. You're probably right, Shaw. That's it. He needs tiny dinger condoms.
Not really love women. I have nothing against women. I believe women are the most precious things on the planet. They create life. They should be protected. They should be provided for. I would never let a woman pay for a bill. I would never let a woman, if someone touched any of my women, I would stand up against 10 men by myself and risk my life to protect her.
Oh my God, he's like so strong and amazing.
I believe that women are beautiful creatures. I just don't think that they're as emotionally calm as men in stressful situations. I don't think they can fight like a man can. And for the same reason, I would never drop my children in an
I'll do an Andrew Tate ad.
all-male nursery. I think that's strange and weird. I would only drop them in an all-female nursery. Women do.
Okay, so what he said there is weird. He basically just said that if any men work at like a nursery or with kids, then they're creepy and weird. So he's alluding that they'd be a predator. And that's not true either. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't just insult women with his bullshit. He also says a lot of really bad things about men, which makes me go, why are men following this jackass?
Do certain things and men do certain things. And we live in a world now where the whole idea of the roles has been conflated to the fact where if I come along and say women are better with children, men are better at fighting, that I'm somehow fucking sexist when it's clearly true. There's nothing wrong with stating the facts. It's the truth. If I had a woman,
I think there's a way to go about it. I do. I think in some cases you can talk about that. If that's what you believe, you can talk about it, right? I'm not saying don't. I just feel like if you have those beliefs, there's a certain way to go about it where you can not be offensive and a complete asshole and hateful against women and so angry, if that makes sense. And he'll never be able to do that.
I would decide not to cheat because I decide. However, I would not see my infidelity as nearly anywhere near even 1%.
You need a little blue pill.
Because female infidelity just involves emotion. You will not sleep with a man you don't like. I can sleep with a woman I don't like. It's a completely different thing. I can be head over heels in love with a woman, ready to die for her, ready to take a bullet for her, protect her, give her all the money in the world, make sure she has a beautiful family, a nice big house, all of it. And I'll still f that bitch. Watch me. A woman.
Wow, eh? What a gentleman.
And won't do that. So don't lie to me and pretend. No, you won't. Any woman who will sit here and say, I can f dudes and not care about them is fundamentally broken. Her soul is broken.
Yeah, well, she's broken then, but she's still doing it.
Well, if she's broken, she ain't anywhere near me. I don't want no broken bitch near me.
I'm definitely sure women will treat me.
You think so? Well, those are the kind of women I will not associate with.
My favorite is how that girl was like, I think they will cheat on you. I love that. That made me laugh. A woman will cheat on you, she says. It ain't a little pill. Sorry, is it a big pill? I've actually never seen it, so I can't pretend that I have. I've never seen it. I haven't. Sorry. So, Andrew Tate has had some interesting tweets. Such as, these are all tweets from him, of course. And by the way, this is the petition that was made to have him kicked off of social media. Act now. Tech platforms must act against dangerous misogynist Andrew Tate. And so they say that he's one of the world's biggest social media stars, but his violently misogynistic, racist, and homophobic content poses a genuine threat to young people. And I kind of agree with that. That's kind of why I'm doing this stream. So these are the tweets that they have got that are also worrisome. I want to have as much information about this man being worrisome because I do believe that he runs a cult of personality, which we'll get to at the very end, I promise. He says, I will state right now that I am absolutely sexist. I am absolutely a misogynist. And I have fuck you money, so I'll say what I want. There's no way you can be rooted in reality and not be sexist. Just not built to be completely independent creatures. There is no such thing as an independent female. They're all relying on a man to some degree. I think Auntie would tell you to go fuck yourself. I'm just saying. There's one for you right there, by the way, Andrew Tate. You want some really great independent females that are survivors and really kick ass? A lot of them are commenting in this stream. I have Auntie here. I have Six Drops here. I have Shaw here. All kick-ass bitches, all right? All people that would never rely on a man either, by the way. I just thought I would make that very clear. It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and grip her by the neck. Shut up, bitch. That's what he would do to a woman who accused him of cheating. And that was from the clip that I actually, that you just saw. In which case, the woman was basically like, oh yeah, you will be cheated on. He said, if you put yourself in a position to be raped, you must bear some responsibility, as we talked about. And he said, I'm not a rapist, but I like the idea of just being able to do what I want. I like being free. It's very interesting that that's what he said. You know, that he likes being free. Because he was actually banned by social medias. Mama Shaw? Mama Shaw's a man? No! I said you don't depend on a man. You don't really depend on Mama Shaw. You guys are dependent on each other. Dominance theory has been debunked, by the way. There is no alphas or betas or sigmas, not in wolves and not in human beings. Yeah, I love how you put human beings. You know me so well. It's misogynistic science from the 60s, and it's bullshit. Exactly. Exactly. Literally. They've even studied wolves. They've studied dogs. We need to talk about that. That could be really, really fun. Well, sir, complaining about prison conditions and mental health isn't very alpha of you, right? Right? I know this for a fact. He's been cheated on. We know he's been cheated on. And while he was being cheated on, he was also kicked off of social media for a very long time. It says, controversial influencer Andrew Tate has shared a final message in an hour-long video after he was banned by Meta's Facebook and Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And he was, of course, removed for expressing misogynistic and derogatory views about women. I mean, who knew? And they literally permanently banned him on TikTok, which is where he did most of his rants. Meanwhile, Meta said Tate's content violated its policies and had been flagged under its guidelines on dangerous individuals and organizations. Now, the thing that a lot of people don't really fully realize is that Tate here runs almost like a business. He runs a business basically just making incel wannabe alpha male men. That's basically what he did. So he shared this video Wednesday, August 23rd of last year. And he said that many of the criticisms levied at him are based on clips that have been taken out of content. He says, I have some responsibility to bear. I still blame myself because my rise has been so meteoric and I became so famous so quickly. Right? He blames it all on people taking things out of context. He says, my responsibility is that any negative connotations in my videos are removed. The way you say things in a video that gets 500 views is very different from the way you say things in a video that gets 50 million views. The more people you reach, the more important it is that people don't take things out of context. And maybe just try not to offend them, you know? So here, there was a thread where they talked about the Hope Not Hate campaign, which literally was to deplatform him and how he's been deplatformed August 24th, 2022. He has also been saying, you can't slander me because I will state right now that I am absolutely sexist and I'm absolutely a misogynist and I have fuck you money and you can't take that away. He also says he lives with a very pure heart, which I tend to doubt. So he got kicked off of social media, and then he decided to move. And that seemed very, very strange. But you know, before all the bullshit happened, Andrew Tate had some fun. Oh yeah, there's going to be some fun here now. I feel like we need a little bit of fun. You know, he still shows up on YouTube. Yeah, he's kind of like Return. He's on Rumble with DC and Negs. Negs probably follows Andrew Tate. I could totally see that. I know several of his friends definitely have these views, including Tragic. I know for a fact. Maybe I should sell my balls on eBay. As it turns out, understanding is the best way to not be eaten by one. It's speed, not force. Yeah, pure heart, right? He's like, I have such a pure heart. He has such a pure heart that he released like a really amazing song. Seriously, it is the best song of all songs that I have ever heard. He is a rapper. Did you know? I was surprised. Without further ado, I present to you Andrew Tate's first song.
The beat.
You'll notice a woman screamed. That's what all women do when he drives up.
Suicide, Kurt Cobain, McLaren 720, but it sound like a plane. When I'm on the road, stay in your lane. Beat getting killed like a shot to the brain. Suicide, 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 suicide. It's do or die, do or die.
All right, whoa, we got a lot to break up here. Okay, so Kurt Cobain, just randomly, okay, I guess because he committed suicide, according to the reports. That's another conspiracy theory we can get in. I know, I'm so bad, Angel. It's like, keep Kurt Cobain's name out of your mouth, right? But he brings up, he's like, suicide, Kurt Cobain, blah, blah, blah. This whole song's about suicide. Yeah, the first song this band, like, really fully released was about suicide. It's like, yay! Great one. So then he says, suicide, do or die. And then I'm like, does this man not know what suicide is? I think if you do it, you die. So either way, you dying. Okay? And I'll tell you right now, I'm sorry. Maybe I should have done a trigger warning or something. I am the worst liberal ever. Kurt was murdered. Agreed. And maybe I should do a video on that or stream on that next. That would be some fun. Literally, though, like, do or die. Suicide. Do or die. Like, the dude, if I do it, I'm dying. That's what suicide is. It's when you unalive yourself. And then I'm going to die. You know, like, I just don't get it. And yeah, I know, driving with these doors up, very bad. Very bad. It's unsafe, but not only that, but it can fuck up the car. So, you know, it is a nice ride. But he's wrecking it. You could do the 27 Club, all the talented artists who had a tragic death at 27. Do you know what? That's actually a whole thing, right? I wish you could experience Courtney's love. It's fucking poison.
Do or die. Yo, no hope. I was broke. Did it dirty. No soap.
He did it dirty, no soap. He's like, I don't shower. Great man.
I was gonna write a suicide note, but now I kill it making suicide notes.
I was gonna write a suicide note, but now I kill her making suicide notes. I don't know what this is or what it means, but okay.
Bang it out. Bang it out. Kill the game, I don't wanna hang about. White chicks, no doubt. Kind of money made these hoes wanna shout, so.
White chicks, no doubt. I feel like in this song, he's just saying like words that rhyme. And none of it really makes sense. Yeah, women love the no soap fit, I bet. Yeah, they're like, let me smell those pits, baby. I love Andrew Tate's BO. He actually probably thinks women would be like that.
Bounce with me. Bounce with me. Got my brother in the gang sipping in the house with me. To ride for me. Die for me. Put your fucking hands in the sky for me. That's me. That's me. Big Daddy T-A-T to the E. Money on my mind.
That's me. That's me. Big Daddy. Which, ew. Sorry. I just had to say that. Big Daddy. T-A to the T-E. He spells his name. So at least he knows how to spell. That's good. Andrew Tate just looks plain stupid. That is what this whole thing is about. Trying to talk himself into feeling good about himself. People that are as confident as he pretends to be don't have to display it. Like how generally people who are super rich don't flash it around. Exactly. Because when you have money, you flash it around. And you actually have money, you get used. And you just don't want it. Can we pay you to make it stop? Six Drops says, thank you, Six Drops. I love you, girl. Has he dated Shani? You know what? Maybe we can hook them up. Can we pay you to make it stop? I promise. I only have 3 songs.
Every day, every night, that's what me and you committing suicide. That's right.
Every day and every night, me and you committing suicide. That's right. He seems to think that he's like Jesus and he can like unalive himself and then come back. You know? And then do it again.
Door suicide, Kurt Cobain. McLaren 720, but it sound like a plane. When I'm on the road, stay in your lane. Beat getting killed like a shot to the brain. Suicide, 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 suicide. Let's do or die, do or die, do or die.
Make them wanna lose their mind. When they see the money, wanna roll with the gang. They're coming 2 at a time. And they just wanna ride cause they love the way we shine. But I still remember days we used to struggle on the grind. That's the reason why I'm never swallowing my pride. Try to stop us, that's a straight suicide, suicide, that's right.
Nowadays, we're getting paid. We throw money, you throw shade. Kicking down the door like police in a raid. Haters wanna talk, we just dig another grave. No joke.
Kicking down the door like police in a raid. The funny thing about this is that Andrew Tate has been raided by police a few times before this song and then after, which we'll get into. Is he talking about orgasms that are called little deaths in other cultures? I think so. Maybe he's saying they're committing social suicide each night by embarrassing themselves, making shit like this. Joe's just scared. Joe's like, I'm scared, and I don't want Andrew Tate on the screen anymore. I don't want it. He has a nice dog, though. That poor dog. Poor dog. Hashtag save the damn dog.
Free smoke, supermodels, deep throat.
Free smoke, supermodels, deep throat. And this is why I think he's just saying things that rhyme. Because, like, those things, like, it doesn't really go. Like, I'm sure he's saying that he wants the supermodels to deep throat him. I think we've gotten that. But it's like, you know, that's not... It's embarrassing.
On a wave while you're struggling to float. Still setting sails, might buy myself a boat.
See, like, and then he says that. So it's like, what did that have to do with the supermodels and the deep throating? Are you getting deep throated on the boat? He's going to get a boat to get a deep throat from supermodels. And then have a smoke. And then go smoke some dope. And then he'll choke. See, I can do it too.
Or a yacht. I'm too hot. 25 bottles when I step up in the spot.
You might buy a yacht, but it might be too hot. I'm just saying. That's what he said. He was like, I might buy a yacht, but it might be too hot. And I'm like, okay. The models need a toothpick. Then the audience will croak. Yeah. See, maybe, do you know what we should all do? We should write our own bad Andrew Tate rap. And then you know I'll do it. It's not hard to deep throat a vagina. Just ask Shanny.
Tied up, you're not. With the G's, putting G's in the pot. That's me. That's me.
I want to know, like, he just has some guy behind him, like, just sitting there. Did you see that? Like, is that his brother? Like, who is this guy just sitting here? Imagine you, like, get a call from Andrew Tate, because for some strange reason, you know this dude, right? And he's like, hey, man, I'm going to do a music video, all right? But I need you. But not to actually sing or dance or do anything. No, no, no. I mean, we might go to the club for the part of it at the end, but can you just come and sit on a nice car in the background while I'm like sitting on my nice car with my dog rapping? You know? Make sure those sails are down. We're banging, son. Yeah, he's not very good, is he?
That's me. Big boss is Mr. Plenty. I've been trying to shine.
And then what's gross about this part, which really bothers me, is he's just on the normal club. He's on a strip club. And he's like throwing money at women. Like, all women are going to be like, oh my God, he just threw one on me. And it's like, no, now you made me feel like a stripper. I have some class, okay? I want respect. So you come to the club, you throw money at me, even when I was 19, which seems to be his favorite age for women, apparently. You would have thrown money at me? I would have been like, thanks for the cash. Now fuck you. Like, I'd rob you. I'd rob you. And then I would yell at you for disrespecting me and treating me like a stripper. That's what would have happened when I was 19 at the club.
Just since 1999, mess with me and you committing suicide, motherfucker. Door suicide.
I feel like that her boyfriend turned around and was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And then he like tried to act all tough. And then they had to turn the clip off because, you know, he was about to get punched out there.
Kurt Cobain, McLaren 720, but it sound like a plane. When I'm on the road, stay in your lane. Beat getting killed like a shot to the brain, suicide.
You're gonna get killed like a shot to the brain, suicide. If someone shoots you, that's murder, not suicide, unless it's like the cops and you're doing like the cop suicide thing. Sorry, it's left my mind right now what that's called because I'm having a hard day. I have a very big headache and I'm trying to get through this the best I can. I hope I'm doing a good job and I don't sound too out of it. But like, he doesn't seem to understand what suicide is. Could he at least look up the definition before he makes it the main part of his song?
Suicide, suicide, suicide. It's do or die, do or die, do or die.
It's do or die. I can tell you right now, if I had a choice of having to do that song or die, I would have died. And trust me, I am the queen of cringiness and the queen of cringe rap songs. I do my own cringe shit on purpose, okay? I do bad rap songs. I have several bad rap songs that people have even, like, reacted to. I've had this exact thing that I am doing right now to him done to me. The only difference, I think, is that when I made my rap songs, I was like, they're going to be awful. When he made his rap songs, he wanted to, like, you know, be a rapper. I don't want to be a rapper. If I had, like, some kind of recording artist come to me and be like, listen, we want to make you a rapper, I would be like, no, do not sign me. Don't sign me. I do not want it. Don't do that to me. Like, I have bad raps. So if I'm saying that your rap is really fucking bad, Andrew Tate, then guess what? Your rap is really fucking bad. Like, maybe one of the worst ones. I'm just saying. Because, again, I am the queen of cringy raps. I really am, though. I mean, maybe we'll play one of mine at the end of this, just so that I can show you all what I mean. Your streams are great. I've had migraines in earlier days. I don't wish that on anyone. Thank you. The rap is suicide. I know, right? We all died. He never tried. Suicide. Right? We'll just do that. That's apparently a famous rap song now. By the way, we just wrote one. See how easy that was? Woo! I mean, it's just funny to me because it's just like, there's nothing. Like, what? Like, he didn't even try. He actually didn't try, though. I feel like he really didn't. You're right. There wasn't anything to that at all. The good news, though, is that even though he didn't try with that one, he did try with another. He has several different rap songs that I find, quite enjoyable. I like rap music. It's my favorite. So he has this really great one that I think is all about who he was before he became famous, because it's called Broke Boys. It's interesting.
Video thing, man.
Bruv, my life is a music video.
Hi.
Now, I will say the beat's not bad. The only good thing about his rap songs is maybe that the beat is not the worst, It isn't. But he probably got it from someone else. I don't think he did it, right? Did you watch the Vice doc on tape? Yes, I did. I did. And yeah, those shorts are loud, right? Like, totally loud. It's really too much. And then he has like a pink shirt. Someone teach this man how to dress. Actually, never mind, because now he's wearing jail outfit, which we'll get into right after this, I promise.
I've been flexing on the broke boys. Flexing on them, flexing on them. I've been flexing on the broke boys. Flexing on them, flexing on them. Used to get my money on the block. Came from the...
I've been flexing on the broke boys. Flexing on them. Who are these boys? Who are these broke boys that this sir be flexing on?
The bottom to the top. But now I'm flexing on the broke boys. Flexing on them, flexing on them.
We need to... And then he has a scream. What's kind of creepy to me is the fact that this guy seems to have a scream of a girl in all of them. That's a little creepy. I'm kind of like, why does he like that so much? You know what I'm saying? For someone that's honestly been called out as a predator now too, which again we'll get into very soon, I feel like it's creepy. It is. It's creepy. He seems to just really like the woman screaming. He's like, this is my favorite sound. Those boys might be his left and right testicles. Right? Isn't it though? I do find it weird that that's his favorite sound is a woman screaming. I'm like, does that mean anything? Leave it up for all of us to decide for himself. It's so cute how he insists on punching down. That's why everyone hates him. I would love to get into a fight with Andrew Tate. Are you kidding me? Andrew Tate, let's go. Damn it, he's in jail. Why'd I wait?
Used to roll with the dope boy.
Because he probably would come murder me.
Used to get
then everybody would actually support it.
dough with the coke boys. I made money trying to choke boys. But now
I made money on the coke boys. Probably not the drink. Something about choking boys. Now I'm just scared. Because these aren't men, they're boys. I feel like he wrote a whole rap song about how he's flexing on boys, like little boys. It's very strange.
flexing on the broke boys. First class every time I fly out. Looking for more property to buy out. High class hoes wanna ride out. But it's only real G's at the hideout. Packed up, stacked up. Pure muscle motherfucker, I ain't jacked up. Employees get sacked in the act up. 4-time champ, you don't wanna get smacked up. Fuck what you heard about me. I take 100 grand and I turn it into 3.
Oh, there's just so much there. He brings up his kickboxing again. He's the most toughest man in the world, right? He's the toughest man in the world. And like Auntie says, I think that was a good one for this. He wants to put out the image that he's the knight in shining armor, right? See, choke boys is a code for squeeze his nuts. He has to squeeze them after he takes a blue pill. He's really got to get that tiny digger working, you know?
So many haters trying to go against me, so I had to make a track and let the broke boys see that we be flexing on the broke boys. Flexing on them, flexing on them.
Flexing on them.
We be flexing on the broke boys.
Flexing on them.
Flexing on them, flexing on them.
He's so intelligent with his lyrics. Flexing on him, flexing on him. I mean, how did he think of that?
Used to get my money on the block. Came from the bottom to the top. But now
he used to get his money on the block. Was that like dealing drugs? Because I don't think he's ever done that. Like, he's kind of been doing TV stuff since he was like 19.
Flexing on the broke boys. Flexing on them, flexing on them. We be flexing on the broke boys. Flexing on them, flexing on them. We be flexing on the broke boys. Flexing on them, flexing on them.
I mean, these lyrics are so profound. We be flexing on the broke boys. Flexing on them, flexing on them. I don't know how he ever thought of them. It's amazing.
To get my money on the block. Came from the bottom to the top. But now we flexing on the broke boys. Flexing on them, flexing on them. I'ma drop 100 bags on the wrist. Flexing got the broke boys pissed. Fly to Dubai with the click. Straight 10, she be sucking on my dick. I ain't even gotta flex. She just wanna make love. I just wanna have sex. Raw like a T.
See, you want to make love. I just want to have sex. Every woman's dream, man, right here.
Rex, I just made a couple milli. Now it's on the Forex. Popped up, stocked up, 5 whips on the drive. Mr. Plenty guapped up. Men still want to.
So they recorded this music video just in public. And this is straight up someone being like, what the fuck are you doing?
See me locked up, but ain't nothing ever stopped us.
People want to see him locked up. Huh. Is that what he said? He said, people want to see me locked up. Huh. That's so interesting. He actually says in this rap, people want to see me locked up, but they won't see me locked up. That's really too bad, dude. Because Romania just extended your detention. So, people want to see you locked up. They just locked you up.
what you heard before. I take 100 grand and I turn it into 4. Got so many women trying to knock on my door, so the broke boys wanna try and hate on me some more. Well, fuck that. We be flexing on the broke boys. Flexing on them, flexing on them. We be flexing on the broke boys.
I think the broke boys would be flexing on him now. What about you?
Flexing on them, flexing on them. Used to get my money on the block. Came from the bottom to the top.
Right.
But now we flexing on the broke boys.
For real.
Flexing on them, flexing on them. We be
They had a $10 budget for this.
flexing on the broke boys. Flexing on them, flexing on them. We be flexing on the broke boys. Flexing on them, flexing on them. Used to get my money on the block. Came from the bottom to the top. But
Literally, that's like the whole song that fades out. It's like flexing on him, flexing on him. Flexing on him, flexing on him. Flexing on him, flexing on him. And I'm kind of like, okay, like, that's not okay, really. But, you know, whatever. He's quite the rap artist, as you see. He really is good at rapping. And I think that it would be really important for us, especially for me, since I am learning how to rap, apparently. Apparently, I want to be a famous rapper. I find out on other people's streams what I want to do with my life. It's great fun. He also came out with a song that's called Sugar Daddy, and I actually have the lyrics on the screen for this one so that we can be sure we know what he says. Right? I think we need to know. Like I said, it's not the worst. What? Now listen for the girl scream, because I'm sure it's also in this one.
Baby, I've been getting paid, I've been getting weight. Tell me all your secrets, I'ma take them to the grave. I ain't gonna lie, I don't wanna wait. We can book a flight out later today. Where'd you wanna go, where'd you wanna stay? We was in the shadow, now we're coming out to play. Anything you need, you just gotta say. Baby girl, come roll with a sugar daddy.
girl, you look good. I don't wanna lie. You know I wanna fuck, but I don't wanna try. I'll take you to Dubai, put you in the sky. Money on a plate, girl, I know you wanna ride.
Yeah, Ken actually wants to know if you're gonna stay in Dubai. It's a really good place for you, you know? All the scam artists go there.
Make you feel nice, get a little high. But if I'm on the grind, then I probably won't reply. I'm the type of guy, bitches on the side. I'ma spend the money, we can spend a little time.
Bitches on the side. Yeah, everybody wants to be a side hoe.
All you gotta do is ask me, and I can make you look classy. Second that you walk past me, I turned the whip around, I had to get you in my backseat.
That was weird. I can make you look classy. Not really, sir. Just saying. Second that you walked past me, I turned the whip around. I had to get you on my back seat. Amazing lyrics.
See, they call me Mr. Plenty, plenty. Check the leather on the Bentley.
Who has ever called him that? Show me who. Check the leather on the Bentley. Sure, your friends will get friendly. And then we get into the rest.
Nice. Sure, your friends will get friendly. Maybe I could be your sugar daddy, yeah.
Cause I'm all about the money, money. Maybe I could be a sugar daddy, daddy, yeah. I ain't in a hurry, Those the only thing that I'ma marry, yeah. I know you got problems, baby.
Okay, you just picked this girl up with your whip. You just whipped it around and picked her up. How do you know she already got problems and that she's stressed and she needs you? I was wondering.
I know you feel stressed on the daily, so let me put your body into flex mode. Giddy up, let's go, baby. I've been getting paid, I've been getting weight. Tell me all your secrets, I'ma take them to the grave. I ain't gonna lie, I don't wanna wait. We can book a flight out later today.
Where are you going? Are you going back to Dubai? Where are you now? I'm so confused.
Where'd you wanna go?
Oh, I forgot. You're in jail. That's right. I
was in the shadow, now we're coming out to play. Anything you need, you just gotta say, baby girl, come roll with your sugar daddy, sugar daddy, sugar daddy, sugar daddy, sugar daddy, sugar daddy.
Now, these are the best lyrics right here. I have no clue how he came up with this.
Hey, yeah, hey, sugar daddy, sugar daddy, sugar daddy. Sugar daddy, sugar daddy, sugar daddy, yeah, hey.
Who's your girl? Tell me she's your friend. Put her in the car, I got money I can spend. Give it a whirl, I'll have 2 sugar babies. I got everything you need.
So now he's talking about how he wants to get with her friend. And, like, have 2 girls. I guess we're doing a Sister Wives thing. Maybe the next reality show he wants to get on is Sister Wives.
I can handle 2 ladies looking lately. See the back of my Mercedes. Couple bitches, that's another reason for the fed to hate me. Cause I've been getting.
It's like, and this is what I mean. Couple bitches, that's another reason for the feds to hate me. Why would they hate you? Why would they hate you over getting women? Like, yes, that's what the feds are mad about. The women. Thank you, 6 drops. Why no? I would never super chat just to interrupt this crap. You know what? You made a better rhyme than he did. I'll just say it. It's just like
money on the daily. I can be a sugar daddy, sugar lady, yup.
Cause I'm all about the money. Maybe I could be a sugar daddy, yeah. I ain't in a hurry. Girl's the only thing that I'ma marry.
So far, his way to get a woman is he picks her up in his car, hangs out with her for a bit, gives her some money, becomes her sugar daddy, and then goes and gets her friend and picks her up too. And then tells them that he ain't gonna marry them. He's just gonna be both their sugar daddy. They gotta be in this weird open relationship with him. We have a love triangle now. And that's apparently supposed to make us women go, oh yeah, this is definitely a guy I want. He's not appealing to women. He's appealing to men, which we'll get into. But he's not going to marry me.
Yeah, I know you got problems, baby. I know you feel stressed on the daily. So let me put your body into flex mode. Giddy up, let's go.
I think that means sex. I'm not sure. But he does say, let me put your body into flex mode. Giddy up, let's go. Which, there's no cock like horse cock.
Let's go, baby. I've been getting paid, I've been getting weight. Tell me all your secrets, I'ma take them to the grave. I ain't gonna lie, I don't wanna wait. We can book a flight out later today. Where'd you wanna go? Where'd you wanna stay? We was in the shadow, now we're coming out to play. Anything you need. Roll with your sugar daddy, sugar daddy, sugar daddy, sugar daddy. Yeah, hey, sugar daddy, sugar daddy, sugar daddy, sugar daddy, sugar daddy, sugar daddy.
I mean, those lyrics on repeat are just fabulous, aren't they? I wonder how long it took him to write this. It must have been months.
Hey, hey. Kiss, kiss.
Okay, so he doesn't have a girl scream, but at the end he has a girl like, oh, oh. And then he's like, kiss. Like, he's just telling her to kiss. And that's a little bit, that's a little bit weird. I'm kind of like, I don't know what that's about. I really don't. I have no clue. Well, I think now would be a good time because we are going to get into Andrew Tate's charges. This actually just came out the last 12 hours, so it is the latest update on him. So we're going to talk about that. And then I would like to talk about how he has been influencing the youth, men of today, if you will, and why this is an issue and how he has this cult of personality that I am trying to prove. You know, I'm sorry if I scared you, Ken. I'm sorry. A lot of people hate that scream. The oldest scream sample in hip hop history too, right? Right? It's like the horror movie one. So I think right now would be an amazing time to hear from our sponsors, and this was already requested. So without further ado, I'll be right back. Today's content and community tab post has been brought to you by Tiny Dinger Condoms, a YouTube streamer's favorite brand. Are you stuck in a rut of watching Chris Hansen's To Catch a Predator episodes on repeat because you relive his career highlight more than even he does? Did you use being scammed by Hansen for merch as a way to get popularity, clout, and fame off the platform? And then when it didn't help you reach 1 million subscribers, you helped Anon Gene dox all the creators who did get some fame from the drama? Do you perhaps have a diaper fetish, but you didn't want to tell anyone, so instead you moved Muse Talks to your place to carry out a secret relationship? Then when she refused to wear the diapers, you kicked her out? Do you hit on other female creators, telling them you can make them popular on the platform because you once ran a sex worker website? Were you hoping you had made friends with a white woman who cucks her man to BBC, but she really just named herself after a card in a deck? And now you're super disappointed, but it's okay, because you found a 19-year-old to hit on and co-host with? Do you have a little black cock instead of a big black cock? What will you grab for when that 19, wait, sorry, she's 20 now. You're 60 and she's 20. Yeah, not at all weird. Sorry for the misspeak. Let's do that one again. So what will you grab for when that 20-year-old puts on those diapers, tells her real man to take a seat, and wants to do the nasty? Tiny Dinger Condoms. They are salty and they are dangerous, but not as dangerous as being in a community that sends predators around to harass women who won't flirt with them when they have minor children, which is the ultimate saltiness, by the way. Tiny Dinger Condoms are the best brand for all the LBCs out there. They even kill all the sperm because you want to ensure you don't have another child with a meth head, then project that relationship onto every woman you ever speak to and want to bang an LBC in front of their cucks. Besides, you keep stealing baby diapers. Make sure you buy a box of Tiny Dinger Condoms today. Located at your CVS, Pharmacy, Shoppers Drug Mart, Rexall, all of the pharmacies around your area, and hidden in your favorite streamer's nightstand. Don't worry, they're all the same. Thank you so much to Tiny Dinger Condoms for sponsoring this video, my community tab post, and my entire channel. I appreciate you. Just take a seat over there with Tiny Dinger Condoms, and you can be as salty and as dangerous as you want. All promoted by Chris Hansen, the To Catch a Predator dude. Remember him? Thanks for supporting my entire channel again, Tiny Dinger Condoms. Such an awesome brand, and it's really helping all these YouTube streamers and e-girls not procreate. Now, back to our normal content. Okay, so that was our sponsor. Good job, Six Drops. I heard that this was hidden. I'm not sure why, but Angel was on it. I don't know why. That's very strange. Usually they let emojis go. That's what we use instead, right? But, whatever. Apparently admiring an eggplant is offensive, right? Who knew? Really, though. Really. But yes, I do greatly enjoy everybody who's here's company. A lot of us hang out in Discord. And honestly, it's a great time. It's just a hangout spot where we do creative things together. It's great. It's exactly what I wanted. A group of people that are just amazingly hilarious, comedic, sarcastic, fabulous people. Everyone in there is wonderful that I've talked to. We have Aaron in there. I've known him for ages. It's just a really great place. I love it. I am having an amazing time with all of you, and I appreciate all of the creativity that you all bring, whether it's your art, whether it's your writing, or anything like that. I love it. I love to be around people that are also creative, and that's all I wanted out here, was to have a little bit of a community of people that are as creative as I, that want to do things that are creative and get together and maybe do things together and just have fun without drama, without bullshit. If there is drama, it's usually a bunch of people hating on all of us at the same time, so we're fine. Six Drops was just using emojis to tell the story of my father, who was an analytical chemist for the FDA, in which he would have to sample and expect microscopically all food, including eggplants. That's amazing. Is your father a chemist, though? Because My dad's actually also a chemist. My dad has his PhD in chemistry. And he used to work for Alcan that became Novellus. And he's actually the one that put aluminum on cars. My dad was the head of that project for many years. And because of that, we got to travel to like Germany and all over the UK, all over the place. Like it was fabulous. I had a great time. That's amazing. I love it. Does he have his PhD as well? I'm assuming probably, right? I like people with educations. See that? She's like, yeah, that's what I was doing. That's exactly it. YouTube, don't ban me. Well, the good news is after this man got banned off of everything, but yeah, a lot of people sneak back on. We see it on YouTube all the time. People get banned, then they come back, whatever. He actually ended up getting arrested in December. He was under investigation, still is, for alleged human trafficking and rape. Who knew that this man would become a rapist? We all did. Let's be real. I'm going to try and make this bigger just to make sure you guys can see it. That's a little bit too big. Thank you. So on Tuesday, which would have been yesterday, this just came out, a Romanian court extended his detention by another 30 days. Tate has denied the allegations, which include forced labor and pornographic acts, for substantial financial benefits. So they say Tate, 36, and his brother Tristan, 34, were arrested in late December. Their current detention order was to expire next week, but the court ordered them detained for another 30 days. Ramona Bola, a spokesperson for Romania's Anti-Organized Crime and Terrorism Directorate, told AFP. The Tate brothers, who have denied all charges, are expected to appeal the ruling. They call him a British-American former kickboxer, along with his younger brother and 2 Romanian women. They're all under investigation for allegedly forming an organized criminal group, human trafficking, and rape. Which, honestly, who's surprised here? They allegedly coerced women into forced labor and pornographic acts for substantial financial benefits. Now, remember those videos that came out? The videos, do you guys remember? He had some videos that had came out. He was very upset.
Actually see the wiretap documents of where women were setting Andrew Tate up. They were saying, let's pretend to cry, let's sell this story later to Netflix or Amazon. It was disgusting to see what they had said, but Tate has responded by saying, I have seen on the Romanian news that pieces of the truth are coming to light. We will see if the mainstream media will continue to try and keep it hidden. My enemies will bail. You cannot hide from the truth forever. There's always courageous men who will force it into the light.
Now, this was Andrew Tate's response to his arrest. I know, I love you. But yeah, this was his response to basically all of this stuff happening. And they have this whole thing where they're saying that all of this was a frame job. And if you remember, there was a bunch of videos of him.
Free Top G.
There was a bunch of videos of him where he had apparently been whipping women with belts. So now you have to wonder about that too. What the heck was that about, right? My husband says that's fun. Only if they consent, though. As part of the probe, Romanian police raided several properties connected to the Tate brothers and seized many of their assets, including a collection of luxury cars. So, all of those pretty cars that they were sitting on in their music videos? Yeah, they're all gone now. Poor dudes. In 2016, Tate appeared on the Big Brother reality television show in Britain, but was removed after a video emerged showing him attacking a woman. And this is what I'm saying. This is very strange. He then turned to social media platforms to promote his divisive views before being banned for misogynistic remarks and hate speech. He was allowed back on Twitter, after Elon Musk bought the company. His handle, Cobra Tate, currently has over 5 million followers. And that's literally what just came out about him. So that's what he was thrown in jail for.
That was actually beating women, sex trafficking.
Yeah, so he was in jail for the sex trafficking and the rape of women. And like I said, now we have to wonder about like way many years ago, right? When he was doing Big Brother and those sex tapes came out. It really does make you kind of go, oh shit, was that what was going on back then? And then, as you guys know, like after that got a lot of attention, if those girls weren't like out here on social media and not knowing, they might not feel comfortable really like being a victim of that way back then, especially. I mean, maybe they didn't really want to speak out. And so Andrew Tate probably paid them off. I mean, he kind of talks a lot about how he has all this money to get away with anything. So then you wonder, did he pay off these women to then come and say that all of that was fake or that it was actually consensual? You can't help but wonder. And of course, there is a whole community of people, a literally whole community of people that are sticking up for this man.
Want to see the full uncensored scripts, I'll put it over on my IG. This literally proves that them two women were not victims at all, and let's see what happens with the rest of so-called accusers. Already 2 have come out and said that they're not, so I'm not sure who's left in this case right now. So in terms of Andrew Tate's future after this news, we got another update coming February 27th on whether he can appeal again to get out, so I'll keep you guys posted on that situation.
So, yeah, there's a whole community of people that are coming out and saying he's innocent. So now I'm wondering, after I saw that video and all that drama break out, maybe that was those 2 women. For all we know, maybe 2 of them, it was consensual back then. All right? So there were those women from the videos back in 2016, I believe it was, when he was doing the Big Brother, right? And it came out. So I guess those videos would have been before 2016. Since they were like found then, right? Let's say they were like 2015, 2016 videos, possibly. And then literally what happens is they come out, they say that back then, they say, okay, it's consensual. Maybe other women come out and speak out. Okay? Then those women get added to the case, as I just kind of did in my own mind, right? Right? No, but I'm saying I added them to the case. My husband was like, you didn't add yourself to the case. No, I added them to the case. As soon as these allegations came out, I immediately went, oh, well, what about those women back then that said that it was consensual? What if they're a part of this? So for all we know, maybe they did get added to this case as part of this. And then they were like, no, actually, it's still consensual. And those are the women that are speaking out. Scuffed Frank, if you have evidence of what you are saying, you can send it to me. Okay? There is a way to get a hold of me. If you have evidence. Without actual evidence of your claim, and I mean evidence as in not a doctored clip like you send around.
Joe from Detroit.
It's Joe from Detroit. Yeah.
What up, Joe?
What up, Joe? He says. That was my husband. He says, what up, Joe? But if you have proof and you want to send it to me, then send it to me. But I don't mean a clip like you guys do with people like Dark Ninja, where you like move things around to make it sound like they're saying something. I call that out right away. I see it right away. I've been around longer than most of you trolls have as a troll. I know all the tricks.
Yeah, she's old.
I'm old. I've been on the fucking internet since the 90s, okay? We're not pulling too much crap over here. So, I mean, you would have to show me him on a registry and charges in order for me to believe a claim like that. Until then, or until you can provide me substantial evidence of that, I cannot take your claim as true, as I myself have been accused of that. by people that just dislike me. Literally accused of that. And I'm a mother. And they've called CAS and accused me and my husband of that to start problems for me and my family. Out of just jealousy. I don't know what people's problem is with me and my family. So I'm telling you, if you have proof, you can send it. I do not listen to random commenters coming and telling me bullshit about people in my community. I protect the people in my community from people like you, and I have great joy in doing so. And if I had to, and if you send me bullshit evidence, I will do a stream sticking up for Ken. I have no problem doing one. That's what I am like. I can't deal with that. You got to show me real evidence of someone being that way, or else I ignore you. Straight up. Hello, Marcel. Good to see you. Czech Republic. Woo. Badwick Productions. Good to see you. If you are not subscribed to Badwick Productions, please go and subscribe to Chad. This is Chad. This is a real Chad. Okay? He's real Chad. I know Chad in person. We know each other, unfortunately, for him, not for me. He's very nice. I'm sure that he wishes he didn't know me, though. We worked together at McDonald's. It was great fun. And he also does content on here, and it is similar content to what a lot of you guys would like. So do go and subscribe to him. There's a lot of fun stuff going on over there. We have Slug over there. So also, if you're around TCAP and Hanson, you might want to go check it out. Every time that you are here, I will do that. Why do you think Andrew is bad? Well, we're going to get into it. I'm just a commentary spurg. Same, which is why I said most of the people around here would like your content because you talk about some similar things to me. Badwick is like if I only did commentary. And he's had some fun with people like Nicholas Dorio. He has Slug doing some stuff over there. Like Slug. I'm sure Steve DeLeve is very happy. So, go and check that out. I'm never a random person. It's usually a targeted harassment campaign towards me. I have a lot. But yeah, they like to make thousands of accounts. Everyone has. We all have. A lot of us are victims of the same group of people that are here. I'll be real with you. And I don't use the word victim lightly. I hate that word. But when it just keeps happening and it never stops, I don't know what other word to use. I can't call myself a survivor yet because it has not ended. I haven't survived yet. It's still going on. So I just don't deal with like random friggin' accusations. Any accusation that I've ever made, I've had proof from. A couple times it has not been proof that I was able to share publicly yet because I was trying to protect people like Wes Most. Fuck me, right? Don't do that. Don't try to protect people out here that could be bad because it's not good. But Badwick is good. So go and subscribe to him. So someone asked, why is Andrew bad? Well, we just went over his rap music, which is very bad, by the way. The lyrics are awful. Although the tune's not that bad. Excuse me. We've talked about his misogyny, his racism, his homophobia. And now we are about to talk about how he's actually influencing men. Because there's a problem, I love the Andrew Tate lore. Me too. It's a lot of fun. There's a problem right now with young men. And apparently we have actually seen a rise in young men acting like Andrew Tate. And here's the thing. I don't know if we can blame it all on Andrew Tate. I'll be completely honest. We have a lot of these alpha male gurus out here, as you guys know. I love to go find them and troll them. And he has sold courses on basically like how to be successful, right? Almost like life coaching courses for men. Everything is for men. And it's scary when you have somebody that has awful like views like misogyny, racism, homophobia, and then they just don't know how to shut up, and then they make awful rap music, and then they end up in jail for rape and sex trafficking. You got to go, oh my God, is this the person influencing our young men? Because I honestly think that the young men of the world could be a lot better than this guy. So we've talked about this guy's an asshole. Right? That's everybody's problem over here. That's what we all did. We're all truth seekers over here. It causes a lot of problems for us. But this is the problem with Andrew Tate and kind of like his, yes, I did see the SNL skit. I wanted to play it, but every time I play a long SNL skit, they do copyright me. I was trying to avoid that because I'm already playing a couple clips that are iffy, but I'm not on here for like money, so I don't care. I'm more on here to talk. We all know I can talk. So I found this article, which is an opinion piece. It was written on January 2nd, so not like too long ago, right? And it is about the Andrew Tate disciples who feel downtrodden by society. Straight white men are still winning. And I just want to talk about this for a second, because I think that while we're talking about this, we also have to be kind of sensitive to men. I know that seems so weird. I know a woman saying we have to be a little bit more sensitive to men is very strange. But here's the thing. We do have to at least be honest that men have taken a lot of hate. Okay? They have lately. And I think that if we kind of look at what have men been going through lately with the Me Too movement and kind of a lot of the feminism that's risen up and the SJW-ness, I mean, it does exist out there, especially in the US. We don't really see as much of it here in Canada, to be honest. But you guys in the US are crazy. So, I'm half joking, by the way, half joking. So you got to kind of think how it would be easy, if you will, to be a young man. Maybe in future, Marcel, hit me up in email. My email's on my channel, and maybe in future we could do that. That would be kind of fun. How a young man who maybe does feel like society is hitting him right now, all right, could fall into believing in this asshole and follow him. Like, how did he get the following he had? It's not just because he's loud. It's not because he's an amazing marketer. Did you see the rap videos? I mean, all of his videos, they're not like professionally produced. Let's be real, right? Angela, you should join you got to get Discord and come join Auntie's Discord and stuff. You would have a lot of fun in there. These would be like your people too. I find all the good ones, you know? That's why you're here too, by the way. So you have to kind of like take a step back as a woman, even like I'm a woman. Gotta take a step back and kind of go, okay, what is happening in society that is making it so that men want to come and listen to a guy like this? Because we can't just all say it's all because of him. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, well, add me on Discord. I'm Queen of Karma, number 8669. We'll figure it out. You email me and we'll figure it out, and I'll have you join. So basically, like, we really do have to go, how could you be a young man in this world and almost not fall for something like this? I have to be honest, right? We fucking are. Thank you for acknowledging this. Calling the nation insane gives us plausible deniability for whatever the fuck we do next. Right? It's true, though. It's kind of like right now, we have to kind of look at, even in the US, the society. How is the world and the views on men actually adding to this? Because there is some. And I think that completely denying it is adding to the problem here. Maybe we need to say, why are these young men feeling like they're so picked on? And if we can figure that out and fix that issue, then we can fill whatever void it is so that they don't end up following and listening to assholes like this and end up in a cult of personality surrounding this man who really does want his followers to like look up to him, worship him. He's creepy with it. So I think that this is an important opinion piece to read by a pretty young person that had an opinion on this. And they say, well, it's easy to mock these young men. We need everyone on board if we are to fix inequality. And to me, that's all I want to do. Okay? To me, we need to fix all of the inequalities. We need to just try to make it so that all of us have equal opportunity. It doesn't mean we will all have equal outcome, because that very much depends on you. It's almost like an MLM. I mean, it kind of is. But we have to at least try for equal opportunity for all, no matter who you are. And that's what I strongly believe. I think if we took out race, took out gender, took out all of that sexuality, if we just didn't bring that into it, that's why I don't like identity politics, and we all just concentrated on all of us being one human race that is being kicked by classism, and then things like this, right? Then we could all go, all right, let's get equal opportunity. And we would all be able to fight more for our human rights. That's just what I believe. You don't have to believe that. I have lots of people that don't agree with me that are around. That's my personal belief, if you're wondering, on all of this. I am the definition of a centrist. I've said this before, right? You know, honestly, Marcel, if you're getting this message from him, good for you, because you are one of the very few that are taking any positivity from this. But honestly, if you are going to be a young man following this guy, that's what I want you to take. He says, I love women. I love my mother and I will protect her 24/7 and want the best for her. I only take from Andrew the lessons that make sense to me, like work hard, respect people, be good, and be your best. Yes, and as long as you're ignoring some of the crap he says about women that seems disrespectful and whatnot, honestly, that's okay. You know, I'm not going to be over here like, don't do that. I'm just wondering how you got those, because I don't think everyone else is getting those. You're obviously ahead of the game because you have critical thinking. The issue here is that not everyone in the world right now has that. A lot of people just look to someone to tell them what to think and believe. And that's what's been happening with the youth here and Andrew Tate. And I think we do need to talk about it. They say as far as viral TikTok content goes, Flynn Martin's controversial rant started out unassumingly a young white guy sitting in his car, baseball cap and gray t-shirt, speaking conversationally. He meanders for the first few seconds with caveats and prevarications. Jesus Christ, with my speech impediment, this will be fun. But his next sentence sets the app aflame. Is it actually okay, he draws, to be a white straight male? Because I was born this way. Cue thousands of stitches and duets ripping Martin to pieces. I watched the original TikTok video, which has since been deleted, along with his original Flynn Martin account, with a sort of sick fascination, as he ranted about emasculated feminist men who he characterized as being fat and unfit. I wondered what had caused Martin to snap and spew this nonsense out on the internet. While others mocked his views and pointed out the obvious flaws in his logic, I couldn't get past the naked insecurity of this young guy who genuinely seemed to feel a sense of persecution simply for existing as the straight white man he is. I want to say that again. The naked insecurity of this young guy. Think of the type of man you want to be. Having experienced actual discrimination as a brown person and as a woman in the patriarchy, I can see an anger in Martin that is reflected in myself. It's just his idea of oppression and my experience of it are worlds apart. Why? Because the frustration he is reacting to is entirely bound to the social sphere, whereas the racism and sexism that have dogged me are embedded in every system of society: school, healthcare, work. Martin, who is Australian, is not the first of his kind to take to social media to vent their frustration at what they see as the woke police ruining everything for straight white men. Online influencers like Andrew Tate, who Martin references in the TikTok, of course, make their living off fueling the directionless rage of young men. And in some ways, I have to hand it to them for appropriating the victim narrative so effectively. Right? I mean, yeah. Negs, you're playing victim. But what Martin and other young men of his ilk don't seem to be aware of is that even as their social capital dwindles, straight white men are still winning as far as tangible indicators of well-being go. If you're white in Australia, and anywhere else, by the way, you're already statistically ahead in terms of life expectancy, education, and health outcomes when compared to First Nations, Canadians, Australians, people in the US, everyone. If you're a man, you're statistically more likely to access leadership positions, less likely to face sexual violence, just less likely though. It doesn't mean it won't happen. Keep that in mind. And will likely earn more than women in the same position as you. And if you're straight, you won't face the higher likelihood of experiencing workplace discrimination, sexual harassment, or violence that the alphabet people may. And I am, by the way, I'm bisexual, but apparently LGBTQ plus is wrong now, and I give up. I'm a part of this, and I don't even know the LGBTQIA plus to something plus. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, like I said, I'm a centrist. I can't keep up with things like that. I'm sorry. I'm not disrespectful. I am very, very bisexual myself. Perhaps the only caveat I would add is to tack on the words middle class to Martin's laundry list of complaints, because class privilege intersects with other privileges and opportunities. And like I said, I myself would argue that it is actually one of the main issues in our world. And I think that, again, if we took away racism, right? If we stopped fighting over, and I'm not saying like completely stop fighting, like obviously be like, don't be fucking racist to me, you assholes. Right? I love being racist to people that are racist. That's one of my favorite things to do. Just give them a taste of their own medicine. They really hate it, by the way. Call them the N-word when they're calling other people the N-word. They will flip out. It's a lot of fun. If you do the whole Discord call thing, you'll get content for weeks. Go to the Gunk Discords. That's where you'll find them. But I think that, if we just put that aside for a moment and all came together and fought against classism and then all set all human rights, right? We're all human. It doesn't matter what gender you are. It doesn't matter what sexuality you have. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. None of that matters. None of your disabilities matters. Everyone's human. We all deserve these rights and these equal opportunities. Let's all go. I think it would be better, but that, again, that's my thoughts. I don't know how to do that. I am not Andrew Tate trying to give a big speech and influence a bunch of people, by the way. I'm just kind of sharing my own viewpoint because there's one shared here. And this is my channel, damn it. I'll talk about what I want. But although these inequalities remain entrenched, progress towards redressing these imbalances has stalled at the acknowledgement phase. Those with the most social and political power, including many who lampoon Martin's original video, and indeed Martin himself, are busy ranking who is the most marginalized or who has the most privilege. And this is also part of my issue. That's why I picked this one. While the people who face the tangible impacts of inequality struggle on alone. Like, honestly, couldn't have said it better myself. Just saying. It would have been easy to join the hordes and mock Martin, shake my head at his supposed ignorance and move on. But I actually felt a little weary that the message of understanding systemic inequality and privilege has become so distorted that we're now focusing on explaining to straight white men that they're not somehow victims of the same system that has been designed with their needs in mind, instead of advocating for meaningful policy measures to address the inequalities we've identified for minorities. Would Martin and his mates actually object to, say, making childcare more accessible or increasing the affordable and social housing supply, or funding better health programs to reduce smoking-related harm in lower socioeconomic communities? I bet if asked these questions outside the context of identity politics, because again, I fucking hate identity politics, they would at least consider the merits of each solution. Instead, it's very likely that the backlash to his video has done nothing but reinforce to Martin that the easily offended snowflakes online do unfairly hate straight white men. And we actually really need straight white men, those with the most power, to be on board if we're going to change anything for the better. And see, that's kind of my thing too, is instead of fighting, we got to get people all together and figure out how we can all go after these problems as a whole. And that's an opinion piece that kind of shares what happened when somebody shared some of Andrew Tate's feelings and how they were attacked. And this person, of course, is a woman of color. And they are saying, hey, listen, we need to maybe slow down, take a look at this, and realize that if somebody says something that you go hating on them like crazy, right? Maybe you're adding to them thinking that. My favorite politician who died tragically had a great quote. We all better when we all do better. That's what I want. Yes. Yes. What is true that I have guys in my class that sometimes say Andrew Tate stuff that are a bit bad, but those guys would be bad even if there wasn't Andrew. They would act like rappers or gangsters. And see, that's what I mean, is we can't all blame it all on Andrew Tate. That's kind of what I'm saying, is that it's not all him. He's just kind of like the front man, the face of this right now, if you will, right? He's the Elliot Rodger of the incels at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So he's the one, If you are nice to people and talk to them and not attack them for their views, they will tell why they feel like that. And then it's a lot better to understand that and why they are feeling that way in order to combat it as well if they have, a bad feeling. That's just what I fully believe. So I'm going to take a little break for a moment again before we get into a big thing. And what I thought I would do for my break is I'm going to put on one of my very awful rap songs. It is the last one that I did because I don't really want to do rap songs anymore unless they are known as a joke, because apparently people didn't get that they were a joke. Like that I'm not trying to be a rapper. They were all like, look at Queen of Spade trying to be a rapper. I was like doing what other people do. Anyway. So here we go. Feel free to insult me, rip me apart in the comment section, because I just ripped apart Andrew Tate's raps, and therefore I don't care if you rip apart mine. I can take what I give out. Unlike him. My husband laughed at me. Enjoy. Because I do think that we need to do that to me. Plug your ears. Yes. Joe is giving you a warning. Joe is giving you a warning. But I think we need a little bit of a break before we are going to actually get into a real conversation about how we can counter the tidal wave of misogyny spewed by anti-feminist influencers, but in a real way. And a little bit about cults of personality and why I think Andrew Tate runs one. I warned you guys this was going to be a long stream because Andrew Tate is a huge topic to cover, and I really want to get it done in one stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I needed my clap track there. Thank you so much. Incels don't listen to women of any age. It's true. It's true. They don't. I'm old and they don't listen to me. So without further ado, my awful rap song. Feel free to rip it up. It's a couple of minutes long. So take time. Go get a drink. Go get a snack to save your ears. Go to the bathroom. Whatever. I'm probably going to do all of the above. And then I will meet you back here in about 3 minutes, maybe just less than 3 minutes, couple minutes, 2.5. I don't know how long this fucking song is. I think it's about 3 minutes. Too long, my husband says. I agree. And we are going to get into basically the end wrap up of what I want to talk about here. Like I said, again, feel free to tear me up. Tear me up, baby. Hey! Oh, it's close. Not again. All these haters mad because I grew out of what they about to be. All these damn lessons never did bring out the best of me. Now they all here stressing me, messing with the blessing free. All up in my biz as if I'm a whole ass industry. Honestly, how you finna judge me? Go while being fall free. Never ask for trustees or advice on who I ought to be. See, can't agree to disagree. There's no guarantees, but don't count on me. Lying ass man must have had too much of nothing. Sleeping on nails, bitch, I'll build you the coffin. If you gonna eat fire, better breathe fire like Duncan. Don't be bluffing and frontin', huffing and puffing. Light up a bitch, queen of the monsters, no discussion. I ain't asking Kim to end the motherfucking corruption. I just start gunning once I hit the ground running. What's with all this pushing and shoving? Breathe a drip out, here make a wish. Make you wish you never wanted to come touch this. If you ain't my bitch, better plead the fifth. There's no way now to stop this. Where you going, baby? We were having a blast. Never thought these lies continue to last. Been kinda like we was watching a 10-car crash. You better gas up, cause I'm coming fast. Rushing around, mom, faster than both could ever run. You ain't even Tyson Gay, so in every way I already won. If you wanna play a fun game, I can reach for the gun. This ain't roulette, one shot fired, bitch is done. I don't give a fuck, and these haters ain't got a clue. Keep on whining, crying, this drama be through. I'll call him a rapist, call her a cunt, call him a choa too. I mean, ain't that what you all do? Crying bullies on my favorite to lace. I'll grab a blade and I'll slice your pretty face. Run up on you with a can of bear mace. I'm fucking insane, leave your ass in a daze. Fucking with a broken mind, will catch you a case. This coffin's almost ready, just gotta drop the bass. Bitch, I said drop the bass. Damn, now I'm gonna have to set her ablaze. Grab a gas can and a match for the spy. Flames growing high, but down the whole shy. We gonna light a bitch up for being a lie. I think your time here has expired. All these haters mad cause I grew out of what they bout to be. All these damn lessons never did bring out the best of me. Now they all here stressing me, messing with the blessing free. All up in my businesses, I'm a whole ass industry. Honestly, how you gonna judge me? Go on being fault free. Never ask for trustees or advice on who I ought to be. See, can't agree to disagree. There's no guarantees, bitch. Don't come for me. Now all these haters mad cause they can't be a friend of me. All these damn lessons made me wanna live drama free. No use coming here stressing me, messing with the blessed. Straight out of my biz, I'll shut down this whole industry. Honestly, don't care if you judge me. Ain't nobody fault free. I'm my own, trust me, never change who I'm about to be. See, disagree, no guarantees, life ain't a city street. Now the coffin's ready. All right. You guys didn't tear me up very good. I wanted some insults, and all I got was Ken clapping for me, and I got Joe saying that it's better than Andrew Tate's, which, again, mine are like a joke. They're not supposed to be taken seriously. I literally don't want to be a rapper. Like, that would be fucking awful, like I said. I actually joked with one of my friends because they were like, they actually liked that one. And they were like, that one's actually really good if you had like actually worked on it for longer than 2 days. Because I write them in a day. I better. I literally write them and then I fucking just record them like the next day. I do it in one take. I might do like 2 recordings and then pick the one that I think is better and then just put it up. Like, that's how much work I put into it. And they were like, that one's actually like really, really good. What would happen if you actually did like a really good rap song that took off? And then you would literally like have to be like, oh no. And then like they came and wanted to sign you or something. And I was like, I would be like, no, that was supposed to be like a joke. Like, what do you mean? And yeah, we were just kind of joking about that because I thought it was hilarious that she said that. I was like, no, I would never want that. I would never want that. That would be awful. It was good. It flowed, sort of. We still have to sing a country song. We do. Joe, we do. See, Joe, you need to come into the Discord. And then you and Six and Red Feather and I and Auntie, all of us, we can write the country song. And then I'll do a real great country song. We have a few people that do music. So we can even write one for them too. I think to be that much invested in racial or feminine stuff is really bad because the world out there is if you smile at people, help them, talk to them, make them laugh. Yeah, just be like a good person. That's all you have to do. Just, usually you don't really have to try to be a good person. I think you either are or you are. If someone's like really trying, then question that. Right? So I actually found an article on MSNBC that really talks about what is going on in our world in terms of Andrew Tate. To be negative like that about world makes you hate people, be aggressive, and generally not great guy or woman to talk to. And I feel like Andrew Tate is aggressive. And he comes off as someone that, honestly, I don't think women would want to go talk to him. Like, he'd probably be harassing them, trying to rape them and stuff, right? So MSNBC here says, and I'll put all of the links down below. Remind me. I'm awful at remembering this. I don't know why. I just am. Last week, Education Week became the latest publication to warn readers of an uptick in violent misogyny being expressed by teenage boys. Over the past several months, teachers in the UK, Canada, US, and elsewhere, so this is affecting all of us, guys, have reported impacts like a huge increase in rape jokes among boys, as well as comments that casually praise men as better than women and refusals to do assignments handed out by a woman because women should only be housewives. I've actually been told that. And like, even if it's a joke, it's still kind of like, oh, this person's an incel. One teacher reported hearing a student in the playground introduce his girlfriend to a group, and as soon as she was out of earshot, he was asked by several friends if they could have a go with her. I think we need to start talking about polygamy and how that's affecting our world as well, and also OnlyFans and that whole culture, because I talk about hustle culture a lot, and I think it's time that I also start diving into some of these other things that are affecting our world. Some teachers and education experts blame this disturbing increase in part on creators like self-described misogynist and online influencer Andrew Tate, who was arrested in December in Romania on charges of organized crime, human trafficking, and rape. One of Google's most searched for people of 2022 was Tate. Just think about that for a minute. I'm sure that a good half of that, I would hope at least, were people like me that were researching him, to gather evidence to tear him apart in a stream or a video, I hope, or just to look up on it because they're not following him and they were like, this guy's a clown, or trolls and stuff. But a lot of it is people who actually want to look him up, because he amassed millions of followers on social media, mostly teenage boys and young men, before being banned from Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Among other repugnant statements on social media, Tate has compared women to property, argued that women bear some of the responsibility when they are raped, and bragged about seeking sexual conquest with 18-year-old women because younger women are easier to make an imprint on. So it's not only about how they have not had a lot of D in them, it's also because they're easier to manipulate, as he says, make an imprint. Train, if you will. Another thing I want to bring up is us women often joke about training men. And I honestly think that that's adding to this toxic masculinity culture, if you will. I think we need to stop doing that. Stop joking about how we train our husbands, how we train our men. If we don't want them, talking about that with us, I think we have to give them the same respect and not do it back. See? Equality. I just had to bring that up. It just came into my mind because it was kind of, mentioned. It relates. Tate covers this hate with an affable, joke-filled delivery style, which is just a front, right? Offered in monthly subscription content, promising self-help, money-making, and self-improvement tips. He's a real-life guru, if you will. And that's kind of how he came on my radar. And I was like, oh God, this guy's going to be a fucking problem. Like, as soon as I found out that this guy was running classes, I was like, oh, fuck. Damn it. This dude's going to be an issue. And now here we are. And here I am covering it. A little late, but I'm here. You used to have Discord, Joe. Damn it. This isn't Europe. I go to Europe for vacations and I would like to live there someday, but the two areas are very different. It is true. Canada's also a bit different. I feel strong about my ideas, but I listen first and then talk. I highly recommend to not read articles about BS in World because you will not change it. You need to be a great person in your area. Yeah, I like to have discussions, though. It's fun for me. That last line made me cringe so hard. I fear for the future of society. Imprinting people? What the fuck? Imprinting is mother-child stuff. It has nothing to do with adult relationships. Yeah, I just think no one should be imprinting anyone unless they're imprinting them with good. And I don't think this guy's doing it with good, Yeah, he's not a guru, but boy, does he ever want to be, huh? Really? Tens of thousands of boys and men, some claiming to be as young as 13. And that's what's disgusting. This man was preying on young boys that were 13 for his classes. And it was about $50 a month, so $49.95, I'm guessing US, a month. for access to Tate's content. Performative chest thumping masculinity is part of the package. Tate rejects therapy. So if you have a mental health issue, he thinks that basically it's not real. He's one of those people that are like, just smile and then you'll be better. Just go outside and it will be awesome. Glad to have you back, Angel. I missed you. Canada could be called America's Little Europe. It's so fucking big. Well, I mean, it's smaller than Europe, I believe, isn't it? So, I mean, we are little in comparison to you guys, aren't we? Tate rejects therapy. That's very dangerous. Because if he's going to be getting kids as young as 13, it's not good to imprint in them, as he likes to say, don't do therapy. Because a good portion of young men will end up with mental health issues. And this is why I say this guy isn't only bad for women. My point here is also that he's bad for men. I'm also trying to reach you men out there and say, don't look up to someone like this. They're bad for you. They don't have your best interest in mind. Because someone that wants young men to do well would not tell you to reject therapy. Right? And they would tell you to save your money. They wouldn't be giving you all these weird money-making things. Trust me. They would not be doing that to you if they cared about you at all and wanted to see you do well. They would tell you that if you experience mental health issues, to please go and see someone and get the help you need and get better. Not just get off the couch and go to the gym. He flaunts wealth, flashy cars, yachts, and mansions as symbols of status and success. The performative aspect has even become a shield for Tate. In a statement to NBC News last year denying allegations of misogyny, he called himself a success coach who plays an online character. And that's another issue. He says he plays an online character, which, by the way, that means that this man doesn't even believe anything that he's spewing. So if you are going to follow someone, don't you want to follow someone who at least believes in their whole heart what they're saying? Even if they say things that are wrong, okay, sometimes, I would much rather they actually fucking mean it. At least mean it. Don't just be like, oh, I'm being an online fucking character. No. If you're trying to influence people, you have to be careful of things like giving them wrong ideas, like reject therapy. Depression isn't real. Crap like that. Women deserve to be in the kitchen. You can have 5 at the same time. Like, that kind of stuff is not good. And you don't have the right to be an online character if you are actually influencing real people that are not just online characters, okay? That's my opinion. I am kind of anti-influencer. It's what my whole channel is. I came out here to discuss multi-level marketing and how I do not like the influence that it has on society. I don't like hustle culture. Wanted to talk about that. I wanted to talk about anti-vax and pseudoscience and how New Age medicine has come back. As you know, there's a lot of things I wanted to talk about out here. And so it just makes me feel like if you are going to be someone out here that wants to be an influencer, okay, you have to believe what you are spewing. I have, Marcel. I've listened to several podcasts. Trust me. I've gone through all of his stuff before doing this. My beautiful ass me mind was like, listen, you need to research every aspect of this man. And right now I'm just bringing to you what I found to be the main points. And I feel like if I just sat here and reacted to his podcast and then went off about my own opinions and beliefs to counteract him, no one would care. Especially since I'm so defamed out here. Right? People just kind of go, oh, that's this queen going off again. Instead of actually listening to what I'm saying. So I felt like people would be bored and they wouldn't listen as much. as when I bring to you things from like MSNBC that supports things that I believe. I went and I typed in, how does Andrew Tate affect young men? And this stuff popped up. And then I went through all of it. I went and listened to a bunch of his shit. Watched him on his reality shows. I have been researching this dude since last year. I have been preparing for this. But at the end of it, I still was not impressed. And it's not just because I'm biased as a woman. And that's kind of my point here. Whenever I talk about something like this, like, it's not just for me to sit here and go, oh, he doesn't like women and I'm a woman. Meh. That's not what I'm doing. And I hate it when people try to say I'm like playing some victim out here of things and try to look for victim points when I do a stream like this. It's like, no, that's not what I'm doing. I'm looking at him and I'm saying he's an influencer. He wants to be some kind of life coach guru, this man. And as someone who has literally spent the last 5 years researching, discussing, after trying to be, by the way, an influencer. All right? I even tried to do it myself before I went, this is fucking wrong. Then I went through a whole thing where I had to like really knock myself out of this way of thinking because I was really indoctrinated into a certain way of thinking with the hustle culture and all this shit. I even had people convince me that someone wasn't a rapist that's a rapist. I was so involved. And I had to really, really like step out and take a look. I even used to watch conservative YouTubers, like alt-right ones. I've gone deep down the rabbit hole. Sir, I have. I have been all the way down to Sargon and back. I am a very, very big Jeff Holiday stan. And the reason why is because he and I have had a very, very similar, like, political journey. And I believe a lot of what he believes. And I feel like when he does his streams, a lot of times I'm like, preach! Yes! Say it! I honestly adore that person. And he's a good person. I feel like he's an actually good person. And he's genuine. But I like genuine people that actually are who they portray to be on here. Because I've spent years dealing with people who portray themselves to be one way on here. And they are way different behind the scenes. Even in my anti-MLM community. And I'm not for that. This is me. This is me all the time. And I'm always got my entertainer on, if you will. I am just this person that you see doing these videos and these streams. I do them because if I wasn't doing these things, I would just be sitting here researching it all by myself, and that would be boring. So I thought, you know what? Maybe other people are also interested. And I'll share it with people. And that's kind of why I'm here. So, I have gone down the rabbit hole of incels, gun cells, alt-right people, all the misogynistic men. I have probably had half of them hit on me over the last 3 years. Okay? I've been there. I've done that. I've been around. I know what's up. So I literally have gone deep into this. And this man and his views. Yes, gun cells. Gunt cells. It's our new definition for the group of people that come from the introduce to yourself community that are all incels and they follow Ethan Ralph around and then obsess over me all over the internet. So we have literally Joe and Andrew like, they're gun cells! Gun cells! So we have made it a thing because incel wasn't good enough, because they're a completely different breed of incel. I'm gonna have to do like a stream where I show you what I mean now, probably. Poor Niccolo. So basically, that's what I'm talking about. I've been there. I've done that. I've gone to all the alt-right communities. I've been a part of a bunch of them. I've left. I've grown up. I have looked at things differently. I've been far left. I've been far right. And now I'm in the middle. And I think because I'm in the middle, when I look at these things, I try to have a view that incorporates both liberal and conservative views into this, which is what I'm trying to do. I don't know if I'm doing a good job or not, but that is what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? Because when I'm doing a stream like this, for example, and I'm talking about Andrew Tate, like I said, I'm not just sitting here talking about how he's bad for women. My point is that he's bad for men. We're all just here to be like, oh, this guy's a misogynistic, racist, homophobic, rapist asshole. Oh, no. Even though all that's true as well, you know. It's because the influence he has on young men is not good for them. Like I said, a great example of that is how he tells them not to go get therapy. Therapy is amazing. I fucking love therapy. Go to therapy. Therapy's fabulous. I've been doing it since I was 9. I've done so much therapy in my life. I've done outpatient treatment programs. They won't take me as an inpatient, and I tried a bunch. I have done therapy my whole life. Psychologists, counselors of every single kind, psychs of every kind, psychiatrists, psychologists, blah, 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 blah. Psychoanalyst, blah, blah, blah. I've done it all. It's amazing. You will never be able to be self-aware, I feel, unless you do some counseling in your life. Highly recommend. Go and find a counselor that's good for you. Doesn't mean the first one that you find will be good for you. You are totally allowed to go and find a counselor that you feel like you can feel comfortable talking to. Go counselor shopping if you have to. Therapist shopping. Find someone you can trust and go and just let it all out. You'll never feel better. Well, the first few times you might be really exhausted and drained. But then it literally turns into a very great feeling of, damn, I'm glad I got that off my chest. And no one will help you like therapy. A therapist is there to help you and guide you. I have the skill to think for myself, and I am 19. And that's good. And that's what I mean. Please keep that. I'm not telling you what to think, but I am saying that if you follow everything that Andrew Tate here believes and spews, especially his negative beliefs about women and a lot of that, it's not good for you. It's not just not good for women and the women in your life, because you'll turn into some kind of incel asshole, but it's bad for you. It's not good for you. Therapy helped me stop a lot of things. Young men haven't had the chance to develop their critical thinking skills yet. They are still at the stage where they believe everything a grown-up says. It's true. Technically, the brain does not stop developing until the age of 26. And it's the frontal lobe that develops last, which is unfortunately the part that also has the area of your brain that understands consequences for your actions fully. You may think you understand that at 19, but no one truly gets it until about their mid-20s. And I can attest to that because I feel like I didn't get it until I was in my mid-20s. Till I was about 24, 25, right? And then I was like, yeah, I get it. Not just women. He says really cruel things about other men he sees as less than, too. Exactly. And I feel like he makes every man feel less than. Like, if you're not him, then you suck. Tate doesn't only appeal to teenage boys, he has amassed a following among some conservative Muslim men, especially following his conversion to Islam last year. Which, again, I'm not surprised. Let's be honest, a lot of people in that religion, they do have multiple wives, by the way, so I'm just saying. And that's not that's just true. It's a thing there that they do it. So maybe that's why he did it. I could see him doing it just for that. He's such a pig. Instead of actually caring about the religion, like he's just like that. Tate's statements validate these followers' patriarchal belief systems in which men remain heads of households and women are subservient actors who support them. Yeah, I'm not with it. I'm kind of against that way of thinking. But I don't know how to approach culture and religion in that way where we can like stop it. I'm in Canada. You have freedom of religion here. It trumps everything. Sometimes that's a problem. As writer Rasha Al-Aqaidi explains for New Line magazine, Tate's embrace of Islam is based on the very Islamophobic stereotypes that many Muslims have fought against and which are now attracting the toxic masculinity types to Islam. So it's not good for them either. After he converted, Tate claimed he was collecting bricks so he could stone his partner if she cheated on him. An allusion to the Sharia punishment for adultery that is not practiced in the vast majority of Muslim majority states. It's completely against the law. And they don't do it. And most of them wouldn't do it even if they could. I'm just saying. It's like that was racist of him or culturally inappropriate. I'm not really sure what to call it, but that wasn't nice. Regarding that, I'm especially thinking about the middle school, ages 11 to 14 that are exactly. Like if he's getting followers as young as 13, that's really scary. It is. The point here is Andrew's philosophy promotes a lot of bigoted dog shit. You can't add positive qualities or side effects and cover the dog shit pile with gold. There's not enough. I agree. But I will have a little bit of respect for anyone that does manage to do it. I'm a little worried because when you are 19, you are easily influenced compared to when you're older, right? I was an idiot when I was 19. And I was out on my own. Like living with a boyfriend and everything. Yeah, got her house at 20. I don't know anymore. It's been a long time. I don't memorize my whole fucking life here. Jesus, go ask my haters. They seem to memorize it more than I do. But yeah, it's just like I was an idiot at 19, and so I can't trust that all the 19-year-olds listening would be able to have those skills, right? I don't think any of us can. It's a scary thought. Tate is far from being the only driver of rising misogyny, which I've also brought up. Online extremism expert Milo Comerford points out that there are thousands of Andrew Tates out there offering up anti-feminist content. There are plenty of other gurus online teaching seduction and manipulation techniques or railing against women's progress as having come at the expense of men and as a threat to the God-given natural order of things. And a lot of times it also has to do with God. I'll be honest. I've heard that a lot. I just thought of Foodie Beauty. Is that who you thought of? Or Facebook? What's going on here? Andrew only seems to like the Chads. Yeah. The older you get, the more you realize what an idiot you were when you were younger. Spoken from experience. Exactly. And honestly, let me be real with you. If you don't look back at your past and go, oh my God, I was fucking dumb, then you might need some more self-awareness. I'm just saying. None of us were great when we were like 19, okay, or younger. I've talked about this before. People keep trying to bring up things that I did at 19 and younger to like cancel me, and I'm fucking 36. Like I'm like, hello, I don't even like remember these things anymore. Half of them, like they're not even relevant. Like, but okay, like imagine being in your late 30s and you're married for like a decade, and you have a kid that's almost a decade old, and you're like having to answer for things that you did when you were a fucking teenager that you barely fucking remember. And that's where our internet world is going, by the way, is that everyone's going to have to go through that because we're in a time where everyone's on the internet. So I'm just like, oh, great. Now we're also promoting just to cancel people with stuff from the past. That's called cancel culture. It's really gross. I should probably just do a whole video on that as well. Because it's also an issue in our society today for many reasons. And honestly, that's what that is when you pull up people's past and ask them about things that are not even relevant. Honestly. So I just think, none of us were smart when we were 19 or under, especially because, we didn't have the ability to see through maybe somebody like him. Right? And even some people that are older somehow fall into this way of thinking. It's strange, but it happens. As these toxic online subcultures have grown over the years, they have spread into the mainstream. In 2019, an all-male mock student government in Kansas proposed repealing the 9th Amendment, giving women the right to vote. Which is fucking insane. Like, how dare you? Leading to an apology from the sponsoring organization. If you guys made it so women wouldn't vote, you lose half your votes. At least, I'm just saying. There's usually more women than men that vote and do stuff like this. So I'm just saying. Just saying. That led to an apology from the sponsoring organization, as it should. Women's rights campaigner Laura Bates reports that over the past few years, her visits to school now have a new normal. Boys in the audience trying to challenge her with false statistics about rape. Because of people like Andrew Tate. He spreads false statistics about rape. Andrew Tate. Sort of rhymes. A 2020 UK survey found that half of young men believe feminism has gone too far. Now, I will say that there are also a lot of women that believe that feminism can go too far in terms of the extremism. Most women are not okay with the extremism or the SJW craziness either. I have to put that out there because the men that are watching this seem to think all women are SJWs. How can we counter this tidal wave of misogyny in the words of one elementary school teacher? First, shaming, judging, or embarrassing boys can drive them further online, where their shame is easily converted to anger directed towards triggered snowflakes who haven't yet woken up to the reality of the worldview they've adopted. Literally. Been there. Still there. Countering with facts also doesn't work because those facts are sometimes seen as part of a supposedly broader, shadowy conspiracy against men. And if you have my name, you get accused of being in a conspiracy against men where you want to make it so that the white race stops populating or some bullshit. I don't know. I stopped listening when it gets racist and shit. Go ask Niccolo. Worst of all, our approaches teens deem cringy, which can fuel further backlash and ridicule. One school administrator in the UK warned that there are lots of videos on TikTok of kids making fun of school assemblies about Andrew Tate. Teachers who talk down to students take patronizing positions as adults who know better or refuse to acknowledge there is anything good about an online influencer can lead students to shut down. Experts say the best approach combines curiosity, non-judgment, and messages from mentors who matter to youth. Discussions should include an acknowledgement that online communities have benefits as well as harms, opening the door to discussions about young people's values and whether online influencers reflect them or not. Young mentors beyond teachers are especially important. I'll be a mentor. For example, athletic coaches can integrate discussions about healthy masculinity, treating women with respect, and rejecting violence into coaching, as programs like Coaching Boys to Men have shown. Ongoing digital literacy training is also key, such as approaches that work to teach youth about how bad actors may seek to manipulate or groom them for their own profit. In the face of rising online misogyny, all young people, especially teenage boys, need early, consistent, and positive engagement with men who are role models for respectful treatment of women. Respectful treatment of women. You want to be a real man? Go do a TikTok about how to properly respect women. That'll get you laid more than doing a TikTok like Andrew Tate, by the way. Don't do it just to get laid. But I mean, I'm just saying, girls like that better. Great to listen to you guys. I respect your views, and there is some truth to it. He gives powerful thoughts that young men use wrongly, but for older guys, it's helpful to see how some things work. Yeah, maybe. I can understand how someone may try to pull positivity out of this. 19th Amendment. Yep. It just goes on forever. The poor, persecuted, heterosexual white male who is a believer of a religious institution and not delivered willing female slaves. Look at, she just defied a gun cell. I like that. That's a funny. Afternoon, Queen. Yes, we are having a good day. I don't have a TikTok and I'm doing fine. I am 19 and I will work at 20 with highly deadly electric machines. Well, that sounds scary. I am not stupid or dumb. Nope, never claimed you were. Actually, people like Andrew Tate don't want stupid or dumb people. They like to prey on people that have intelligence. I've actually done a whole, I believe it was a stream on how cults and people try to manipulate people that are smart, not dumb. A lot of the misconception is that people fall into things like this because they are dumb. But really, it's people that are intelligent that they prey on the most. It's almost like, yay, we got a smart one. You know what I mean? I don't know what you mean by not everyone is the same like you. I know that. I hope not. That would be awful. Imagine if we had 500 of me out here. Jesus Christ. No one would want to go out ever again. But I do think that this man is dangerous and that we do have to talk about it. We're not trying to say you are stupid or dumb. We respect you and your views. It's really nice to have you here conversing with us. Yes. I'm 59 and run robots, leaving in a couple of minutes. I hope you had a great day, Joe, at work and that you didn't get in trouble. Just saying. So my whole thing, though, is that if you do show respectful treatment of women, like, that's better. And I feel like men that do that should have a bigger following than people like Andrew Tate. The best offense, in other words, is a good defense that helps youth recognize and reject harmful and hateful online content whenever they encounter it. It's far easier to prevent teens from going down the rabbit hole than it is to pull them back out. But to do so effectively, teachers and everyone else need all the help they can get. So I guess maybe that's why I'm doing this stream, because I feel like maybe people need all the help that they can get in terms of, like, combating this. Because I think all of us should be combating this as much as possible. If you have a platform, combating this way of thinking is you using it in a good way, in my personal opinion. I think it is a lot better than going along with it. And I think that in order to combat it, like I said, you do have to take a moment, you have to understand it. And you have to understand every part of it. You have to look at the individual and what is happening to them in their personal life that maybe would lead them down that road. You have to look at those that surround them, their support system. Do they have other men in their lives that are maybe more like Andrew Tate? Because then, yeah, of course, they would go and want to follow his views. We are seeing these views like less in terms of like older people seem to be dropping this viewpoint. But now, unfortunately, like I said, all the young people, and like the article said, all the young people seem to be embracing it, and that's dangerous. So we can't have that. Because the problem here, and honestly why it's affecting our fucking world so much, is because fucking Andrew Tate here is a full-on cult of personality. A cult of personality does refer to not a cult per se, but when a regime, oh, by the way, this is BetterHelp, but when a regime or a political figure uses media, lies, spectacles, speeches, patriotism, and even the arts and demonstrations for one to create the perfect image of a leader. Flattery and praise are at the forefront of this. And this is commonly seen in state parties or one-party states. Authoritarian countries do run based on this type of regime. This type of leader often ties in their images of themselves into heroes. If you ever look at how Augustus Caesar tried to make Julius Caesar look like a deity, thereby connecting him to a deity, that's a perfect example. I know, I did the deity thing again. You also can look at monuments that were in the Soviet Union and various posts that showed key Soviet Union people, including Engels, Lenin, and Marx himself. Marxism is a cult. There are also monarchies that have used the elements of divine sanction, but lots of times that doesn't make them a personality cult, since a lot of these monarchies, though creating a god complex in the leaders, didn't have the ability to use mass media in order to push an idea out into the open. The purpose of this was to show control in a group, and the leaders were able to control the group with the personality of this alone, sometimes using the deity images, as mentioned before, as a means to showcase that this person is the supreme leader the populace needs. The media is usually controlled by the leader and the heads of state, and threats were often dealt with by said people, and any opposition was handled immediately. It first came about in 1958 when Nikita, I can never say this, but this is their last name, their speech on the cult of personality and its consequences came to light during a congress in the Soviet Union. They were the secretary of the party criticized in this how people idolized Joseph Stalin, and from this, the Communist Party, along with Mao Zedong, who was a contemporary of Stalin. The speech was soon public and was part of de-Stalinizing the Soviet Union later on. However, they first appeared in the 1800s in France and Germany. Yeah, my people, thank you. Trying to say that thank you. At first, it wasn't political, but instead, it was commonly called the cult of genius. But then later on, it was used in political use when Karl Marx, Marxism, sent a letter to the William brothers, which was in 1877. The characteristics are quite interesting. This type of personality cult have 5 different characteristics to it. They are that they try to attract males, target the entire population and not just some sections, employ mass media, make sure to control the media and inhibit any rival cults or other types of thought. This type of cult also creates an ideal or even godlike image of someone that is shaped and molded with both media exposure and the propaganda as well. You know, like Andrew Tate. From this, one can manipulate others based completely on the public personality that is shown here. It often externally uses shallow images to create a heroic and idealized type of image, or, rap music. That works too. This type of cult is often given very extravagant and exaggerated public demonstration when it comes to leader praise. There are 3 conditions that also should be here when you see this, and they are as follows. A combination of both patrimonialism, along with clientelism, a systemic falsification of the culture itself, and lack of dissidence on the part of the people. You do need to have these conditions in place for the cult to form. And that's what I'm saying, is that we got to look at all these things and our society, our culture, how it's all, like adding to this stuff. Media plays a huge role in this since it brings forth the leader's personality, and that if the leader is charismatic, it actually does have an even bigger part in their exposure. And often their personality is created via the media. See, now maybe Andrew Tate is seen as like charismatic by the people that follow him, but he also gained notoriety for being an asshole, right? Like for being kicked off of Big Brother and like doing a bunch of dumb tweets and hanging out with Alex Jones, you know, stuff like that. Chivalry, honesty, compassion. It works good for me. I don't know how some guys don't care. That's it. That right? That's all you got to do. I am sorry, but if you read this article daily, you will go crazy. I feel like North America needs to fight for something. This is why Europe is more calm. We know that fight is not the answer. I don't fight either. I'm in Canada. We're the peacekeeping country. We talk it out and see views of people. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm French Italian, by the way. I just thought I would tell you. Media plays a huge role in this since it brings forth the leader's personality, and if the leader is charismatic. So charismatic can do that, but then like I said, you can be non-charismatic and get attention in that way. And sometimes people like that, like look at Trump. He was an asshole, right? And people were like, yay. The media can reflect on the cult of personality at different levels. For example, the media played a huge role in the cult of personality in Nazi Germany. As in, Hitler ran a cult of personality with the Nazis. That will be quite the fucking video. I'm trying. And in the Soviet Union, but in American politics, it does affect it to some extent as well. The media does contribute to the image that's often put there by the person. But leaders dominate the politics in America to an extent, and sometimes the charisma of the leader is a focal part in the exposure a politician gets, or a cult of personality run by Andrew Tate. The purpose of this is to transform someone to help show to the nation that without them a future won't happen. It essentially works to justify some of the actions that totalitarian leaders engage in with different countries. And see, the thing is that Andrew Tate does that whole like, oh, white males oppressed. We all need to stand up for white males. Andrew Tate's not even a fucking white male. Can I just bring that up? It's weird. I'm just saying. And then he gets away with it because of that. Like, he use that as an excuse. He's mixed, so I don't know. Anyway. In the Stalin cult, the Kremlin didn't allow records that show the truth. And that's why many documents were destroyed. And some photos were altered and documents were invented from this. Those that knew Stalin had to have official accounts that were following the demands of the cult themselves. And these accounts are even seen in the history books about the, I can't say this word and I fuck it up every time, which is studied today. How we have our cult of essential part of Stalinism was that the cult was integral to the power that Stalin possessed and even contributed to his megalomania, which I wonder if that's what Andrew Tate has a lot, honestly. How we have our cult of personality. Within ourselves, we have different roles that are in our lives. And we have different archetypes that play a major role in what we do. Lots of times we may choose one element of our personality. And over the years, we take out and get rid of the rest. And it sets up a paradigm that's hard to maintain, where we use different actions to be loved and acknowledged. But we also disown different aspects of ourselves. There are different ways we adopt different parts of ourselves to create a persona that's healthy and successful. And see, Andrew Tate promises to teach this, right? This in turn creates self-rejection, and we often do away with parts of ourselves with the element of temptation to be successful being at the forefront of all of this. We sometimes fall prey to the words in our head that say that to be successful, we have to reject parts of ourselves. This creates a personality cult within yourself. You're always painted as a sort of ideal. We all do this, whether we know about it or not, and we try to have wealth, popularity, and power, often seen as solutions that are attractive. But if we're brought down a little bit, we end up feeling like we're no good, that we are rejected, forgotten, and left alone. Self-rejection is an enemy since it does contradict the voice that we have within us. Lots of times we try to work on reclaiming ourselves, and this can be seen lots of times in those who are addicts and trying to recover. I am constantly in recovery myself. It's just true. You know? The Navy pays me to sit here and watch you too. There you go. Zach says join the Navy. But yeah, my sobriety date is, my last drink was August 7th, 2013 of methadone. And my sobriety date, which I choose to be the first day that I was fully sober, right? For me was August 8th, 2013. So right around that time is when I fell into MLMs. Shortly after that, I started to fall into this whole hustle culture influencer thing. So see, I feel like I've been going through this. Maybe you have too. I don't know. But I have been. And even in my politics, as I said, I went far, far left in my earlier years. And then by the time I was online watching YouTube, I was far right. I went to YouTube to look up people that were leaving religion and people that thought that our identity politics were crazy. And I ended up down a rabbit hole. And I ended up around some people that were not good. Yeah, like Sue, I guess, not good. And I had to leave in order to, get myself together. But you can't leave these cults on here. Just saying. It's hard. They'll stalk you for years. They'll degrade you. They'll talk crap on you. It's bad, but you just got to keep going. Embracing the truth of who you allow for you to change. And from there, you can integrate better habits more positively. I'm trying to do that now. But integrating, period, allows for you to become conscious of this and gives you a choice. Compartmentalizing is the opposite of this, and that's essentially putting on blinders and not seeing the truth that's there. This is extremely limited, since you can't see the big picture from this. Often, we end up holding ourselves hostage to who we want to be, and in turn, we end up trying to be something that we are not. I'm sure everyone has gone through that. I know that we all did this when we were like teenagers, right? You see this type of cult of personality in both media and in individuals. There are those out there who paint a picture of themselves that screams that they are perfect in every single regard, but they're far from it. All in hustle culture. They're all faking it till you make it. And look at, even Andrew Tate's a loser. And lots of times, learning about who you are can be quite beneficial, and it can make a difference. Right? So what does being in a cult mean? Being in a cult means that you have no autonomy and that you're beholden to the rules of the cult of personality. People in this dynamic have no say over their minds or bodies. They are manipulated and controlled by the leader or the cult of personality. The leader may withhold resources such as food or shelter to make the participants stay. Online, they may weaponize your personal information, your doxes, private conversations you've had with them, and anything else that they can try to use against you. A cult of personality is an expert at making people feel like they have no choice but to exist in this toxic environment. Even if it is really toxic and you want out, you might even get out like 3 times and have to go back. The leader is considered a savior by the followers. The cult of personality believes that their final word is the law and undeniably right. The followers are told that they cannot have unique thoughts, and the cult of personality brainwashes them. It also constantly repeats their bad thoughts, and repetition brings manipulation, right? They remove their family or friends so that they cannot leave the cult. Even MLMs do this, right? Where they'll be like, oh, your family doesn't support you because they won't join your MLM with you. You shouldn't talk to them anymore. The followers feel completely alone except for their connection to the cult of personality and the fellow captives. Sometimes the followers develop Stockholm syndrome and start to believe that a cult leader is a safe person. They may fall in love with the cult of personality or develop an unhealthy attachment to that person. Who you all thinking of? Thanks, Zach. Have a good one. We're almost done here anyway. That makes it extremely difficult to break free of the cult. It's possible to leave a cult, but it takes strength and the belief that there's help out there. And there is a way to break free. You may be making a sacrifice by leaving the group. Your family could be involved in the cult, and if that's all you've ever known, you might not know of another life. Think of Scientology, or even, like I said, MLMs, guys. And people that hang out around Andrew Tate. I've seen it. You don't have to stay in an abusive environment. There is a better life out there. Once you're able to leave the cult, there are support groups and therapists who can help you heal. They provide you with essential resources for shelter and job opportunities and anything. Anything. Have you ever heard the song Cult of Personality by Living Color? I strongly suggest watching it. Or sorry, listening to it. Watching it. Yeah, go watch the song, guys. I don't know what that means, but okay. Don't waste your life on media. Think for yourself and not through CNN or another media. Just saying. I use this for the research to think for myself. If I don't know what's going on in the world, then I can't think anything about it. Now can I? And I like to talk and see views of other people. You also have free college and less racism. We have a lot of racism. Outside of bigger cities is the most racism people I know. Well, that's too bad. That's too bad. So I think that this is really, really important. I just want to talk about this again. Cult leaders are manipulative and highly intelligent, but they're not necessarily affiliated with a religion. This is like one of the biggest misconceptions whenever I'm talking about how a community can be a cult. People show up in my streams and they'll be like, well, it's not like Scientology. Or they'll be like, well, they don't have people on like some like Jonestown all living together on some compound. So it's not a cult. We have online cults, like I said, like YouTube community cults. We have the cult of Andrew Tate. When I did this stream up, and I put it up like, I don't know, a week or so ago, I started getting messages from the good dudes in my life who aren't creeps being like, hey, Queen, you might want to watch talking about Andrew Tate. He has like a whole fucking cult following of incels that will come and harass you. And I was like, I already think I have half of them harassing me. I seem to have been stuck around dudes that have his belief system since 2019, and I've been trying to get away. What do you mean? But it was great. But it's like, they knew, right? People are aware that this man has a cult following. So to me, he is running a cult of personality. And Captain Britfag brought that up at the beginning in a comment. And I have to agree. That's kind of what the whole point of this is for me to talk about him, his problems, make fun of his awful singing. I wanted to make fun of my awful fucking rap singing, but you guys were just nice to me. I don't run a cult. You can fucking tell me I suck. Jeez. And then, kind of talk about how it's affecting the young males. Because again, if I just sat here and complain about how it's affecting females, I wouldn't reach the males. I want to reach some of the males. I know some of you are listening to me. Hi. So I want to see if I can reach you and explain to you that you are stuck in a very, very dangerous, toxic way of thinking. And you need to get out of this misogynistic, weird way of thinking. Especially if you actually do want to be successful, right? And have a good woman and all that. No good woman wants to be treated how Andrew Tate claims that women should be treated. I guarantee you. But cults and a religion are not the same. A religion is something that people generally adopt willingly. However, that's not always the case. A cult is about worshiping the cult leader. Religion has rules, but cults are more abusive in general than religion. Many religions have a belief in a higher power rather than an individual. People in cults typically worship a living person. And this is what I often bring up whenever I'm talking about the difference between them. I'm sure you guys have heard me say this before, that religions like worship a god usually, some kind of higher being, and then cults, it's a living person, which again why I say that Ekankar is more of a cult, because they really do want to worship like the living Ekmaster. And here, right here, it's like Andrew Tate is running this cult of young men. And I think some of them are like just kind of lost. Hello, Alps. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Queen is rapping and running a cult. Apparently you already did. If you're a member, yes, join my membership today. And then you are a part of the Queen cult. Alps, I need you to email me, by the way, because I believe that we're supposed to be doing a call together at some point. That's part of membership here. So let me know. So basically, yeah, if you become a member, then you get a cult meeting with me. Isn't that great? Right? Right. So it's like Andrew Tate is seen as this crazy god in a way. You know what I mean? As this crazy god in a way. I don't know who you are, Faith D, but cool. I'm about to wrap up. I don't know who you are, but I mean, I can come find you after, I guess, if it's that important to you, whoever you are. Mr. Gunsell, I don't know. But basically, Andrew Tate has all of these views. He is seen as a god to a lot of people, especially the young men that were paying $50 a month to get life advice from him, which, by the way, worst person to get life advice from. Again, I feel like maybe we just need a small little freaking reminder.
What do you do with this whole music video thing, man?
Bruv, my life is a music video.
Aye.
If my woman replies to a man on Instagram, if she likes another man's photo, she's out the fucking door.
I believe that women are beautiful creatures. I just don't think that they're as emotionally calm as men in stressful situations. I don't think they can fight like a man can. And for the same reason, I would never drop my children in an all-male nursery. I think that's strange and weird. I would only drop them in an all-female nursery. They need us, and they use us. But the second we have an opinion, the second I decide to voice and talk about the things that we talk about, explain our points of view, they want to cancel us. They don't want us to speak. They just want us to defend them, build the railroads, build the roads, be the workhorses, be the slaves, and they think we're not allowed our point of view. Well, they made a fucking mistake.
Yeah, just a little reminder that that's the cult leader right there. He seems very wonderful, just great, right? And so basically, it is affecting our society. And I hope that I have done at least a decent job of proving that a little bit here. We are having young men that are having these awful views, more and more so. I even see it out here on the platform more. Maybe you guys have too. I don't know. Let me know. Is it all the fault of Andrew Tate? Not necessarily. But I will say that Andrew Tate does have one of the largest cult followings in it. And he does run a cult of personality in this sector of the manliness dudes on the internet, and those who go and get like life advice on how to pick up women, or just life advice and success advice in general. We have crypto bros even that follow him that are a little scary. There's a lot of gun cells. You know, it's a scary community. It is. It's a community that is definitely not good for women. But my main point here is also that it's not good for the young men. You are learning things wrong if you are learning them from this man. And if you do need some help leaving the cult, leaving the hustle culture, or any of that, I literally have playlists upon playlists. You can look up anything on this platform on it, or you can get a hold of me. My email is on the channel, and I will leave my, I don't know if people can add me on Discord. I guess I should like double check. But I do have Discord, and you can add me on Discord. And then I will talk to you about it. As someone that has been through several myself, I've had quite a ride in my life in terms of going from cult to cult to cult, from place to place to place, and having to rethink, reprogram myself. I feel like I've probably reprogrammed myself like 50 times, especially in the last few years here. And so I know what it's like. I know what that's like. And I think it's easier to do if you have someone to do it with. So I have no problem talking and helping you. I do it with people all the time. As in, I help them all the time. Not like I do it anyway. Someone will make a dirty joke about that. So that's all I have for you guys today. I really do hope that it was enough. I mean, Andrew Tate is just, he's a large freaking topic, right? He is someone that is a complete asshole. I don't think I would want him to even clean my shoe, okay? I just feel like he's a big jerk. He is running a cult of personality with a very, very scary following. And unfortunately, it is actually affecting our society. And I think all of us, all men and all women, should get together in order to end it. Yes, end it. Because it does need to stop. I would like to see no more Andrew Tate gun sales. I know that's a big stretch, if you will, but it would be very, very, very nice. So, coming up over the next few weeks, I am going to be a little bit busy working on some things. I have a lot of research to do and whatnot, but I promise that I will be streaming, and I will be doing several videos. I have a video on door-to-door scams. I'm still working on the Boss Babes video, their passion into profit thing. I am still working on that, and I really do hope to get that out by like the Monday, MLM Monday coming up. So I do need some time to work on that, but we are going to probably be streaming on Ekankar either Friday or Saturday. I will let you guys know. Stay tuned for that. And no matter where you are or what you're doing, I hope that you all have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous rest of your day. Go and do something you love, because this was a lot. We have been live for almost 4 hours. That's a crazy long time, even for me. And I think that I should see us all out with the Suicide Song. It's my favorite. I'll talk to you all soon. Mwah! Take care. Bye! And remember, don't join a fucking cult.
Sick boy on the beat.
Suicide, Kurt Cobain, McLaren 720, but it sound like a plane. When I'm on the road, stay in your lane. Beat getting killed like a shot to the brain. Suicide, 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 suicide. It's do or die, do or die, do or die. Go. No hope. I was broke, did it dirty, no soap. I was gonna write a suicide note, but now I kill it making suicide notes. Bang it out, bang it out. Kill the game, I don't wanna hang about. White chicks, no doubt. Kind of money made these hoes wanna shout, so bounce with me, bounce with me. Got my brother in the gang sipping in the house with me. To ride for me, die for me. Put your fucking hands in the sky for me. That's me, that's me. Big Daddy T-A-T to the E. Money on my mind every day, every night. Mess with me and you're committing suicide, that's right. Door suicide, Kurt Cobain. McLaren 720, but it sound like a plane. When I'm on the road, stay in your lane. Beat getting killed like a shot to the brain. Suicide, 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 suicide. It's do or die, do or die, do or die.
Make them wanna lose their mind. When they see the money, wanna roll with the gang. They're coming two at a time. And they just wanna ride cause they love the way we shine. But I still remember days we used to struggle on the grind. That's the reason why I'm never swallowing my pride. Try to stop us, that's a straight suicide, suicide, that's right.
Nowadays, we're getting paid. We throw money, you throw shade. Kicking down the door like police in a raid. Haters wanna talk, we just dig another grave. No joke, free smoke. Supermodels, deep throat. On a wave while you're struggling to float. Still setting sails, might buy myself a boat or a yacht. I'm too hot. 25 bottles when I step up in the spot. Tied up, you're not. With the G's, putting G's in the pot. That's me, that's me. Big boss is Mr. Plenty. I've been trying to shine since 1999. Mess with me and you're committing suicide, motherfucker. Door suicide, Kurt Cobain. McLaren 720, but it sound like a plane. When I'm on the road, stay in your lane. Beat getting killed like a shot to the brain. Suicide, 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 suicide. It's do or die, do or die, do or die.